It is another edition of the flagship podcast, and we got a lot to discuss in the world of pro wrestling, most notably from WWE, as on the road to WrestleMania, it is an absolute mess. We got people deciding to leave. Who let the dog out? Apparently himself. Road Dogg is departed from WWE after his performance evaluation went, I guess, wrong. You also got Cody Rhodes, new WWE champion out of nowhere following Elimination Chamber. He lost the Royal Rumble, lost the Elimination Chamber, still got a title shot, even though there was a clause in the contract that said he couldn't, and he's now the champion. And now Drew McIntyre is not in the main event of WrestleMania. Poor Drew. We're going to talk about Elimination Chamber as Randy Orton has moved on to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes, as well as Rhea Ripley winning the Women's Elimination Chamber to face Jade Cargill. And boy, oh boy, did they start some drama on social media this week with people getting dragged for their lack of ring time or their ring time that embarrasses them. We also in AEW World got to talk about David Finlay, the Savage King, the fourth generation of Finlay, deciding to go to AEW over a hot dog and a handshake in NXT. We're going to talk all about that. Plus, in CMLL, you got Persephone winning the CMLL Women's World Championship against Mercedes Moné. She is now down to 8 belts, Moné. We got some ROH to discuss. We got some TNA to discuss. We got some AAA, and we got final predictions for Vengeance Day and Eve Wrestle Queendom, which I will be live for tomorrow in the UK. So much to discuss on this edition of the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. Plus, it is Harlem and Sydney the Fourth's birthday, so send those super chats, show some love in that way. Let's get this show on the road.
Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be Tru Heel Heat, SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland, whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching Tru Heel Heat podcast.
Hello, I'm Willow Nightingale, and though I might generally be regarded as a very bubbly, upbeat person, you're watching Tru Heel Heat.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for Tru Heel Heat 371. Who let the dogs out? Discussing the latest wrestling news, including Road Dogg shockingly departing WWE leads to creative shakeups on the road to WrestleMania 42. David Finlay signing with All Elite Wrestling over going to WWE. Recap of this week in wrestling with WWE Elimination Chamber featuring Randy Orton and Rhea Ripley heading to WrestleMania. SmackDown featuring Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Championship. Raw featuring Roman Reigns and CM Punk having their second war of words. Yet NXT Evolve Secession 2, AAA on Fox, and TNA IMPACT. On the other side of the wrestling world, you got AEW Collision and Dynamite featuring Don Callis Family winning the AEW World Trios titles. ROH TV, NJPW's New Japan Cup kicked off, as well as this 54th anniversary show this week in CMLL featuring Persephone beating Mercedes Moné to win the CMLL Women's World Title, and final predictions for WWE NXT Vengeance Day tonight, as well as tomorrow's Eve Wrestle Queendom 8, plus much more. And to break it all down, to discuss it all, we got the trio here, your hosting trio on a Saturday morning. First up, we got the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Love. How are you doing, Miss Krssi?
Good morning, peeps. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Happy Saturday. Happy birthday, Harlan SP4. Happy birthday to my grandma. So,
Yes.
Good morning. Yeah, got a lot to dive into.
A lot to discuss on today's show, and of course, to do it all, we are with the author of the Bum 15, the True Draw himself, Josh. How are you feeling?
I'm telling you, man, some of these bums that I set on the list, man, they've been acting up all week.
They have been true. It's so true.
Sometimes bum's gonna do what a bum's gotta do, you know?
I literally text our chat. I was like, this is why he's a bum. We'll get into why that person is a bum. I was like, but this is why Josh made him a bum. I was like, absolutely. Yeah. I wasn't even like, yeah, he deserves to be a bum. He deserves every last position or being that person on that list. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it. But we got a lot to discuss from the wrestling world, so we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on the video. That helps out our YouTube algorithm. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the live chat if you're with us live. If you're watching us on demand, comment down below. Let us know what you thought about this week in pro wrestling, final predictions for the shows for this weekend, and anything else you want to discuss. But if you're with us live, you get to be a part of the show, so we'll highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible, you could do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. And hot damn, Chuck Berry starting us off hot with $100 super chat donation. I think the last time we saw a $100 super chat donation here on the chat is when everybody wanted Josh to roast JD from NY. I think that's the last time that we got one on here. So appreciate you, Chuck Berries, for the support. You are way, way generous, and we always appreciate seeing you in the chat and showing us some love in this way. He says, good morning, THH fam. Poor Drew. Down emoji, crying emoji, sad face emoji, shrug emoji. Hey, I didn't know that SmackDown still had a tag team division. Does it? Does it really? You saw who won tag team turmoil? Does it really? He says, too bad it was an unestablished tag team who went over, y'all. And all IWC gooners rejoiced after that MMA muscle mommy admiration promo. SMH, what the fuck are we doing? They had all this interest, all this talk about Rhea and Jade during the week. And then you had, I feel like this is the second time in like just a number of weeks that we've had to call out Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer still is convinced that this is all a work. It's like, Dave, they did not mention anything they said on social media. It was not a work. It started as a work and then it quickly became a shoot. How do you not realize that? How did you not realize that this is the Hulk Hogan tweet from 2011? Don't work yourself into a work when you're working and you're working into a shoot, brother. It was I was able to copy and paste that tweet talking about this whole Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill thing, but he's still convinced it's just the work, Josh.
I mean, I don't know how. I mean, you know, you kind of saw how it went left, and then as soon as it went left, other people got involved. If it was a work, Chelsea wouldn't have gotten involved. Piper wouldn't have gotten involved. I mean, there's people who shouldn't have gotten involved that got involved. I mean, how's that a work? Like it didn't make any sense to me. And then I mean, it's not the first time Jade has gotten into some got some heat like this. So I mean, I don't see how he doesn't put that together. It's like, yo, like he did this before. Like this is not the first time she's done this, and then it happened again. And then the same people who said something again. So I mean, what does that tell you?
Hey, the brother doesn't want to admit when he's wrong. He's like, don't no matter what people say, we'll get into it a little bit more and talk about the SmackDown tag team division. I literally messaged y'all in the chat last night. I was like, holy shit, I totally forgot what Motor City Machine Gun's theme music was. That's the last time that I've seen them wrestle on WWE television. It's been that long.
Because they always been in a backstage segment and doing foolishness. That's why. You haven't seen them really wrestle since probably December or when they thought about the tag titles. But, you know, that's just here nor there.
Yeah, it's been a while. I was just like, whoa, I didn't even know they had theme music anymore. This is crazy. You forget they just signed here like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Already lost in the shuffle. This is amazing.
But people have to know that this is what it's all about, though. I'm sorry.
Also true.
We got to know, at least figure out like what's happening. It's the WWE formula. Like I'm just saying.
Yeah. We got Zach Minger letting us know, saying good morning, SP3, Krssi, and Josh. National Women's History Month. I am aware. Yes, March is National Women's History Month, and since you guys loved or seem to enjoy our Black History Month celebrations for TikTok time in last week,
women this month,
where Krssi whooped me and JJ's behinds in fantasy draft. We're gonna do a triple threat fantasy draft of current women's wrestlers today for TikTok time. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. We got Eric Isaac who says, hey THH fam, another wild week in wrestling with titles changing hands, shocking departures, and surprising debuts all around. We got Bloody Money in the chat joining us today. Thanks for coming with us, Bloody Money. He says congratulations on Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Championship for a third time, and it's a lot of backlash of Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Championship once again.
My God.
I just thought it was us in our Tru Heel Heat chat until I checked social media this morning. I'm like, oh, okay.
Not everyone everyone was pulling for Drew. Actually, they wanted Drew and Randy.
I was like, oh, we're ahead of the curve. No, I think they wanted the multi-man matchup. No one wanted
wanted
Drew or Randy or Drew versus Cody.
No, okay, honestly, nobody wanted either match. To be honest, let's just keep it 100. Nobody wanted to see not one of these guys, not one.
Yeah,
they didn't want to see none of these. But hey.
And I love the WWE defense attorneys who are online being like, oh, you guys always wanted Cody and Orton, and then when they give it to you, you're not satisfied. You guys are never satisfied because they wanted it 2 years ago.
They always
pull the trigger too late.
There you go. Too late. Too late. Nobody cares. They don't care.
It's ridiculous. We got Chuck Berries who says, consider that super chat my way of crashing out. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people were not. Holy crap. I checked it earlier and it only had like 3-4 votes. I did not know this, King Greg. He says last night's SmackDown has a 1.58 rating on Cage Match. There's no way it wasn't that bad. It was just a regular version of a 3-hour SmackDown. I would have.
Yeah, SmackDown wasn't. I mean, it was better than like what we've been getting, but I wouldn't say it was like that bad.
Oh man, it's even lower now, King Greg. 21 votes, 1.50 on Cage Match.
God damn.
Cody and Drew got a 3.95 out of 36 votes. It was actually a really good match. Sometimes the result of the match dictates how people feel about it. That's the case in point right there.
And you know me, I was not behind this feud at all. I was not behind anything that they were doing. And as much as praise I was giving SmackDown, I mean, SmackDown has been better than Raw. And I said it last night, and I was like, that's not a high bar to set to be better. You can have a great show. 80% of your show could be great. But if your title picture is ass, then it's ass. But that doesn't make the entire show bad. And that was the point I was making to somebody yesterday, where I was just like, just because I said the show was better doesn't necessarily mean that I'm saying that the title picture was better. The title picture was probably one of the worst things on the show. Yeah. And I've been saying it for weeks.
And it's also the fact that I feel like certain fans feel like predictable means bad. So if something's like the Cody finishing his story, that didn't go as predicted, but that was predictable. It was going to happen when the match got made for WrestleMania 40. That wasn't bad. That was really, really good. And but when you go in a haphazard way, you go in a circular motion. You could have just done what you wanted to do, Triple H, because what Triple H wanted to do was Cody never lose the WWE Championship, and eventually he would go into WrestleMania as WWE Champion. But you went in this roundabout way where you give Drew McIntyre a here nigga damn title reign, which you never made him the focus. You basically had two of your top stars cut his balls off and never give him a chance to collect his balls at the door, and then you go right back to the predictable route, and it's just like, how do you expect fans to be happy and rejoice about this? Like, did you expect them? Oh, Cody and Orton, it's a bigger draw, it's gonna sell tickets. We don't know that. You don't know that. And look at the title picture going into WrestleMania. You got 4 guys over the age of 40 years old in the main events at WrestleMania. Congrats, I guess. It's so predictable. Like, I'm sorry, I might be in the minority here, but Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton does nothing to get me more interested into WrestleMania. I wanted this 2 years ago. I wanted this last year. Mm-hmm. I'm getting it 2 years too late. It's not the same. I don't have the same feeling for it.
It's the WWE formula. What do you guys expect? Why are we acting like we're surprised about this foolishness? They always give us stuff later than when Drew was supposed to be champion. They didn't do that. Like, let's just go. Like, this is going back 2 years as well. When Drew was supposed to pull the trigger and let him be the champion. They didn't do that. What was that, Clash of Champions that he was supposed to win?
Oh yeah, Clash at the Castle in Scotland.
In Scotland. But they was worried about the whole, like, was it what, Roman reign or whatever?
No, that was that was him against Damian Priest. Well, no, you're talking about the original Clash at the Castle in 2022. Yeah.
So we're talking way long. But anywho, whatever. I like my stuff. My stuff says Pac Mania all the way up. Like, let's just throw the shit in the fucking garbage at this point. I feel sorry for those. This is not selling tickets. I promise you, this is not going to sell tickets. You think it is, but this is not selling tickets at all. None whatsoever. You hope it does. And I think it's more like, I forgot, I seen someone's video and they were saying like it's more TKOs, like kind of like, you know, regretting or like seeing like what they put into this product is not what they're receiving. And that's why now all of these like changes are happening because they're now on these niggas' necks.
Yeah.
But it's not going to help. It's not going to help within like 60 days. It's not even 60 days, I think. Like, it's not going to happen.
It's like just over 40 days from WrestleMania.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It's not. You barely have a card. Like, you're building up you're not even building up like proper things. We don't even know what mid cards are going to be on the damn card. And you got 2 days of this mess? Pack them all the way. You might as well load them tickets. If you want to sell tickets, you might as well load them very low. Get all the stuff out of storage. Get every single T-shirt you got in Connecticut and bring it to Vegas so it could get sold. Because I promise you, ain't shit. It's not going to work. ESPN is another one probably saying, "What the fuck did we get ourselves into?"
It's like we can't go back on this deal. Can we get some money back? Or I heard that was part of the news. I didn't even put that in the agenda. That it seems like there's issues between WWE and ESPN following the deal, because remember, the deal wasn't supposed to start until April. It was supposed to start at WrestleMania.
Yep, they rushed it. Yep. We remember, and remember the product that we got. The what was the show that they gave us, and it was garbage, and we crucified, and everyone crucified that shit. And they was like, "Oh, we gotta do." It went down. It hasn't been good ever since. Let's just.
That's ESPN's fault too. I don't even feel bad for ESPN. I was just like, you guys were fucking stupid for even offering that amount. You know, I thought it was a smart business move for WWE to split the PLEs. I don't knock that, but the fact that you had a company that was like, hey, you know, we'll give you over $1 billion for this. I think you would get your money back. Like, did you really think you would get your money back off of that? Like, you know, and you know, but that's part of TKO. They oversell what they offer.
Yeah, they do.
WWE, this is our biggest show. You know, this is the biggest show in town. Let's come in. But then the problem is that you have a bunch of corporate heads who know absolutely nothing about the wrestling business.
Say it, Josh.
That's the biggest thing. You know, they're under a corporate microscope that they don't even know what they're doing because of that. Because they want to say, oh, wait, we have to change this because this is going to draw us the most tickets. That's the problem. The problem is that you're in the wrestling business. Like, you should be doing things that the fans want. You know, people to even to an extent wanted Jacob Fatu probably involved, and they're not getting that because the corporate heads on top said like, no, he's not the guy that we want to push to sell tickets. Like, that's what it comes down to.
Yep. It's sad, but it's true. We got a couple of super chat donations. Some love for the kiddos, for the twins. We got Valab, who says, happy birthday to the Tru Heel twins, SP4 and Harlem. I will let them know. Uncle Valab said, happy birthday. Thank you so much in the chat. We also got King Greg, who says, happy birthday, Harlem and SP4. Thank you for all the love, guys. I just got done eating some birthday cake before we went live.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, yo, that day was crazy. That was a crazy day. Like, I'll tell you that much, yo. Because that day, me and Wendy were at big event, right? And I was like, yo, you know, at the big event, we'll go to the baby shower. And then we found out that the babies were born. I was like, wait, have I ever been involved in a baby shower / birthday? Like, I don't know what's going on.
I think that was the first ever one of the first times I ever heard of like a baby shower where the mom wasn't there. It was just the dad because the mom was giving birth.
No, not giving. You gave. She had already gave birth, I think.
Yeah.
The morning. So Yo, I even had to. I was like, yo, is the baby shower still going on? Because we were on our way over there, and I was like, I still would have gone regardless.
It was like we already paid. We already paid for
I was like, all right, cool. I was like, all right, cool, because we were on our way. We were like legit, like halfway, and I was like, oh shit. And then that was a crazy day. That was insane. And I think Jay Quan showed up after.
Oh yeah, and drunk.
I wouldn't expect anything else other than that from him. Like,
this is true. We got Rachel in the chat who says, does this ruin the legacy of Cody Rhodes as world champion by winning this third title in 2 years? The first title reign was good, but the second one wasn't good, and I feel this title will follow suit. I mean, you're not wrong about the first reign to the second reign. The second reign, it got stale because he was just feuding with Drew the whole reign, basically. He wins the title at SummerSlam. He jumps right into the feud with Drew McIntyre. Mind you, they gave him the title when the dude was going off to film freaking Street Fighter. So the first month of his reign, he's gone filming Street Fighter, and then he comes back into the Drew feud, and that's all he does. He had one random match with Obafemi, but he just feuded with Drew the entire run. One random match with Obafemi, the men's war games, and a random title defense against Bronson Reed on TV that went to a non-finish. Like that's his second reign. The second reign wasn't good, and with this one, I don't think it's going to be good either because it's like I feel like as of right now, the right decision is to put the title on Orton.
And that's
sad but true.
That's saying a lot.
It's Orton turning heel on Cody and him winning the title at Mania. That's the right decision. So he's only going to have a 5-week reign as WWE champion on this third occasion. I think it's reverse.
I think it's more so Cody heel because Randy is like so over right now as a baby face. He's so over. That promo he gave yesterday, like. That is such a babyface shit that he was talking about yesterday, like being the big bro and whatever his BS backstage and whatnot. Like, bro. I mean, you're like Unk now. You're an Unk, basically. You're Unk.
He is Unk. He is Unk status at this
point. I mean,
Not he's
to be honest with you,
Unk status. Like that was Unk promo.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how I feel about it. Like. I think part of me was like, oh, like I'm just glad that the Drew feud is over with because we had fucking 6 months of it, and a lot of it wasn't good. So I was just kind of like relief. But then it's like Randy Orton, and I've been saying this for Randy Orton for a while, where it's like, you know, he's already reached legend status. So it's like he doesn't need to be that guy that needs to like carry like a company. He doesn't need to be that guy anymore. But then it's like. You kind of fall in that same pattern from last year, right? Because even when he won the Elimination Chamber, they already pushed the idea like, oh, he's going after number 15. And then last year you had Cena. He's pushing to set the record. So now you have Cody Rhodes facing basically another WWE legend who's already up there in age and looking for a big number of title wins that, you know, adds to their accolades. So it's like, I don't know how I feel about that because it's like, yeah, Orton and Cody could give us a good story, but then it's like this was like 2 years too late. This was already thrown in. This was not even the original plan. This was your like fourth idea.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like you should have pulled the trigger like 2 years ago. And now you're basically at a point where the more interesting guy to have on top is probably the 45-year-old who has more years behind him than he has ahead of him. And you're putting Cody, who you want to still be this top babyface, in a position where he's going to get booed in favor of the legend again, like he did last year.
Yeah, you know, and it's like there's no slouch to Orton because Orton can still go. It's just Orton is where he's at now. Like he's the guy that comes out, people cheer because like, oh, he's already reached that status. But then it's like you don't need to give him a title. But now it's like now you're in a position where it's like, oh shit, Randy Orton is a main event of WrestleMania. There's no way anybody had this in their bingo card. There's no way
Nope.
That this was like in Vegas, like some kind of. There's no way that hey, let's have her anywhere in our picks. There's no way he was even an option for this.
No. Oh man, Vala. Oh man, is that true? Is that the likes to dislikes? That. Oh geez, they have another Jey Uso situation on their hands. 16K likes to 50.5K dislikes for Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Championship last night. Yeesh.
I ain't even. Yeesh. I got nothing to say on that one. Like I can't even defend it.
But people will. You know what it is? People will use the crowd reaction in person. People are still cheering. Like they don't care about the internet stuff. No, they care. They don't want to tell you they care because that will admit defeat. But they definitely do care.
Admit defeat, yes. They're never gonna do that though, Josh. They're just.
That's what I'm saying. They're never gonna admit defeat. They're never gonna do that. So they gotta, push the course of like, no, Cody's our guy. He's the top white meat babyface. Like they gotta do that.
Not white meat.
At this point, that's what it is. Because I'm getting sick of it. I just turn the man heel. Like I wouldn't mind being heel as a champion. I wouldn't mind that. But it's like we're getting the same shtick with this guy. He comes out, does a fucking politician promo. Like I'm getting sick of it.
Yeah. And we got Brian in the chat. It says TKO might lower the prices because they high price things a lot. So maybe they've got to reconsider doing it. They're not, because they're still going to set the great record regardless of if it's 40,000 people in the building or 50,000 people in the building. But they will point the finger to everything else and talk about non-existent matches that they haven't announced for WrestleMania being the reason why they are lower or down year over year for WrestleMania ticket sales.
Yeah, Mark Shapiro will find some bullshit to spin. And he'll try to say, oh, more people came in, we did this, like last year, guys, remember we did WrestlePalooza, they did higher than that, he's going to find some bullshit to try to justify what they've been doing.
Yeah. And I agree with Valop in the chat. He says, yeah, but Hunter has the final say in all things creative. So if he's okay, these BS decision, it falls on him as the boss. Yeah, like people need to stop with this whole, I don't think it's Triple H's fault, because it is. Like we didn't blame it on the writers whenever Vince McMahon, God bless you, Vince McMahon gave us bad booking, or even to a lesser extent Tony Khan when he gives us bad booking for AEW, Gato when he does bad booking for New Japan. It's always the guy up top that gets the blame, and that it is their fault. It is their fault, and they need to accept that and take accountability. The main reason why it's been pushed so hard of people pointing the finger at Triple H is because Triple H wants all the praise, all the credit, but none of the blame. And that's why people are pushing back even more and blaming him even harder than they usually would.
That makes sense. Yeah,
that's true. He wants all the glory. He wants all the praise, all the glory. But then
all the time,
he tells you to shut up and be a fan.
Yep.
And he's always the face and front person to always say he's
in the middle of the WrestleMania poster.
Right.
He's in the middle of the WrestleMania.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. The exact. Thank you. I lost train of thought.
Like it's like
poster. He's in the middle of every fucking thing. Like Vince was not doing that unless he was like involved in an actual like fucking match.
Yeah. Like Battle of the Billionaires was the last time he was on the Mania poster.
Like, why are you on the billboard? Like, why are you on the poster?
He had an actual match. Vince had yeah. So it was like, at least Vince never did that. Vince only did things when he was involved in like that iconic poster. He was involved, and that's why he was on the poster. He was a big selling point at that time. It's like now Triple H, he wants all the praise, but then it's like you're not an on-screen character either. So it's like you're trying to be Dana White, and now people are starting to see it. People have been seeing it for a while now, but it's like we've been saying it. This channel has been saying like, hey, sooner or later you guys gonna start blaming Triple H, and then there's a lot of people who still do it. There's a lot of people who are still trying to defend Triple H. They're still trying to put it on TKO, and it's just like, bro, we just watched Unreal. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we just watched that.
But also Unreal, I feel like it was a smear campaign to basically the Triple H supporters to be like, oh, see guys, it's everybody else in the room. It's not him. It's not his fault. He's the one who has to guide these people. It's everyone else in the room. Yes, everyone else in the room is a problem. Guess who put them there?
Thank you, Pal Driver.
Who put them in the room?
But then also, when you notice that he does that, Triple H does that, but then he's not giving solutions himself. Like he's asking questions and he's pushing back, but then he's not the one that's giving solutions himself. So it's like he's fooling you. He's manipulating y'all to believing what y'all want to believe. But then it's like, all right, he's scolding these people, but then it's like, what is he doing himself that's solving the problem? He's not doing much. He's just making the person look bad.
All right, but we got to get into the news and everything. Before we do that, we got our Tru Heel roll call, shouting out all of you across social media and here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. Our top 3 conversation starters are Tru Heel Trinity on Facebook. We got Jermaine Packman, Joe Bellini, and Stewie John Palmer. Our Patreon backers, we got Vala, we got Negro Buck Nick Jackson, we got Professor Chris, Trey, Robert, Steve, Ladarius, John Martin, Dolores, James, Alan, Santo, Justin Rich, Chuck Berries, and Josh D from CT. Thank you so much for all the support over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. Without further ado, let's get into our what we missed. And we're going to go into WWE Elimination Chamber 2026 from Chicago, Illinois last Saturday. The show featured Rhea Ripley defeating Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Kiana James, Alexa Bliss to win a solid women's elimination chamber match and advance to face Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania 42 this April in Las Vegas. We also had AJ Lee scored a victory over Becky Lynch to win the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, her first title in over a decade. CM Punk picked up a win over Finn Balor in a very good match to retain the World Heavyweight Championship in his hometown of Chicago. Post-match, Punk showed some respect to Balor while celebrating with his wife AJ Lee. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis opened the mystery crate, and it was in fact the debuting Danhausen, who made a grand entrance with synchronized dancers and weird pyro, but unfortunately he received some boos, some very loud boos in response. Randy Orton beat Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, Trick Williams, LA Knight, and Javon Evans to win the men's elimination chamber in a match that featured interference from the returning Seth Rollins, who screwed Logan Paul, and also undisputed WWE champion Drew McIntyre, who cost Cody to the win here. Orton moves on to face the undisputed WWE champion at WrestleMania 42, while Nick Aldis announced that McIntyre will defend the title against Rhodes on last night's SmackDown. Before we get into last night's SmackDown, Krssi Love, you weren't on the review with me and Josh. What did you think about WWE Elimination Chamber last Saturday? We had a lot of people in the chat on Sunday that wanted to hear your thoughts on the show.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Like I told you, I wasn't gonna watch it. Just being honest. I just didn't feel led. I already knew it was gonna happen, so I didn't really feel led to see it. But I did see some of the women stuff. I saw highlights. I saw some stuff online. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Terrible match for Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. Wow. How? And we're going to give her the belt because she's a legend herself and she's never had such title. So we're going to give this, and this is in Chicago, where she's not from Chicago, but we keep saying she's from Chicago, but she's not from Chicago, but whatever.
I'm SP3 from London, England.
You are now, technically.
My hometown of London, England.
And then I was like, now these two are putting up ones. I was like, why are you guys putting up ones up? Like, what are we doing? Like, you're not Roman, you're number. Are you saying you're number one, or you just want to just steal this guy's stuff because you're gonna fight him in like 40 something days? Okay, great, yeah. But predictable winners, of course, duh. Yeah, Pac-Mania all the way up. That's all I got. That's it.
Any additional thoughts on Elimination Chamber, Josh? Josh is frozen, or he's
definitely frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We was talking this whole time and never knew that he was frozen. God knows how long he was looking like that.
He looked pissed. He was like, damn.
Oh man. But it just goes to show you, like, you know, the crowd for I don't even know how the crowd was because I didn't really watch it, but from what I got from the women, they seemed like they were involved-ish. Oh, there he is. Now he's back. He's moving.
There you go.
There you go. You were frozen for quite a while, friend.
No, I know. It's my Wi-Fi is like going in and out. So
okay.
All good. We got King Davion who says the men's elimination chamber may be the worst chamber matches since the 2015, 2022, etc. Dave Meltzer gave it 4 stars.
Yo, Dave got to pack it up too, son. Like, that's like, you know, you're just giving stars just to give out fucking stars. Like, let's just be honest, son. Like, you can't be watching the same shit we watching. Like, not at all. There's no way. There's no way.
He did.
That was not a 4-star match. I'm sorry.
It wasn't.
Especially with LA Knight botching.
I mean, SP3 gave it.
LA bot.
He gave it 2 stars, and I said he was generous for that.
I mean, yeah, I get 1.5, 1.25, maybe.
Hey, I mean, some people gave it 3 stars, some people gave it 2 stars. Dave Meltzer gave it 4. It's all subjective, guys. It's all subjective. Packing up Dave is hilarious.
Pack up Dave, son. Pack it up, man.
All right, let's talk about another show that a lot of people seem to not like. WWE SmackDown last night. The show featured Randy Orton kicking off the program after winning the Elimination Chamber matchup. He came out.
Just wanted to let everybody know that shirt is hideous. You should have burned it. Don't wear it. If you buy that shirt, you need all your money back. But go ahead, continue.
The show featured Orton kicking off, talking about his Elimination Chamber win and looking to headline only his 3rd WrestleMania main event in 20 appearances. This led to Trick Williams coming out to interrupt him, talking about that he is in fact 6'5" and seeing eye to eye with Orton, which led to Orton dropping him with an RKO. Later, we got Sami Zayn approach Cody Rhodes to call out his friend getting a shot that he did not earn for the title tonight, but also wished him some luck, wished him good luck. Then Zayn also approached Orton and asked how he was able to pull the trigger on Cody despite being his friend at the chamber. Orton told him that sometimes you just have to be selfish, and that is why he's a 15-time world champion, and he believes in Sami. He just needs to listen to the voices. Finally, this all led to the main event where Cody Rhodes defeated Drew McIntyre, and what I thought was a really good main event, apparently not a lot of people agree with that, to win the undisputed WWE Championship after an assist from Jacob Fatu, who stopped Drew from cheating during the matchup with a steel chair. It will now be the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 42 on April 18th. Meanwhile, you had Carmelo Hayes. He picked up a victory over AAA Latin American champion ELD Dr. Wagner Jr. to retain the United States Championship in his latest open challenge. You had the Irresistible Forces. They had their celebration of their WWE Women's Tag Team Championship win, which led to interruptions from Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, as well as Julia and Kiana James. This led to Nick Aldis making a #1 contenders tag team matchup between the two teams teams, with Bliss and Flair scoring the victory over Julia and Kiana to become the number one contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And of course, Julia got pinned again.
Yay. Oh, you said I said it out loud. Oops.
Johnny Gargano was snapped out of his funk by Candice LeRae and Alex Shelley. This led to him calling out anyone to face him to prove he's still one of the best wrestlers in the world. He got Obafemi. You kind of know what that resulted in. He lost in over a minute.
Great fucking job. Great fucking job, guys.
Then you had tag team turmoil as they had to determine number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. You had great teams like Fraxium and the Motor City Machine Guns starting off with the Machine Guns losing to Fraxium. Fraxium immediately lost to Los Garza, another quality team here. There was also the Wyatt Six in here. The MFTs interfered and caused them to be eliminated by Los Garza. See, you would think Los Garza should probably win this. Nope. They lost to Damian Priest and R-Truth, a tag team that has never tag teamed before on Friday Night SmackDown. They are the new number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And finally, you had Rhea Ripley following her win in the Women's Elimination Chamber. She came out for a face-to-face confrontation with Jade Cargill, where they talked about each other's muscles and whose body is better. And Rhea said that Jade's body is for show, while hers is to fight. And she says she's going to prove at WrestleMania she's that bitch. Josh, what did you think about Friday Night SmackDown last night, and especially Cody Rhodes, your new undisputed WWE champion?
SmackDown. It's a rare week where Raw was better than SmackDown.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's
No, it was.
Lot.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, last night, it was just a lot of directions they were going. I was just like, what are they doing? Like the tag team shit. You just had a throw-in tag team. You know, Damian Priest and R-Truth have history, but they were never a tag team. And all the tag teams that you have, you're saying that this team should be the number one contenders.
They put together.
Okay, cool. We got R-Truth going after the tag team titles. Awesome. I guess, right? That match with Carmelo and Dr. White, that was not a good match. I wanted to like it, but their styles just did not. That shit did not mix. Melo and this guy did not mix. Like, I don't know what it was.
It's sad. You had like high expectations and high hopes for them.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody gave a fuck when this guy came out. Nobody gave a not a single fuck was given.
You know what's funny? I was at a bar lounge yesterday and last night, excuse me. And when I sit at the bar and they have TVs, I'll usually ask them, hey, do you mind changing the channel? Because I mean, no one's really in there and they're not paying attention to it. So if they're in there, I'll usually ask them. They was like, sure. So I didn't even really hear the sounds, and I could tell the crowd was bored.
The crowd went mild.
Right. Like once you change the channel, and I was like, okay, we got Carmelo. Okay, cool. And then I'm like, no one, like you could just tell they're panning to the crowd, and like no one is doing anything.
No.
Anything. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Any thoughts on either Cody Rhodes beating Drew or the face-to-face between Jade and Rhea, Krssi Love?
The face-to-face, I have to go back to see that because it looked like they said some stuff, but I couldn't hear it because it was inside the stuff as they're playing music over it. Yeah. But I was like, watch it. But it looked like it was actually a good like exchange between the two. Am I invested yet? Probably not, but I still want to see what they said, see how it like sounds like.
I wouldn't even tell you to waste your time on that.
Okay, thanks.
I'll be honest.
Like I'm looking up,
yeah, Twitter was much better.
Okay, so I will find out Twitter. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, we have Rhea come out, and then we have Jade. Jade is her typical Jade. Like, I feel like they've kept her in this bubble. Like now she cannot. it's the same like copy and paste formula for Jade. Like she will not be able to grow if you just keep her in this bubble. Like you should have put her in NXT, help her out a little bit more so she could wrestle a little bit more. Then you get up to the main roster. I don't know why you didn't do that, but you could have gave her, because look, you could have gave her a Jordynne Grace effect, but no, you didn't do that. But hey, we'll see what happens when she gets to WrestleMania when she loses, because she's definitely gonna lose. She's not winning. She's not winning. Sorry.
I mean,
I would eat crow on this show if she won.
You are that confident that Jade Cargill is not winning at WrestleMania. You're willing to put a crow bet on it?
Yeah. Oh, matter of fact, I'll get the hot, the hot ones or whatever, like the stuff that they be having, like the chicken wings or whatever.
Yes,
I'll do that instead. How about that? I will eat the hottest one. Someone will get it for me, and I'll eat it on this show. Is that fair?
So I mean, so that means Krssi won't eat it. That's great.
Jay done messed up. I think she was talking out of turn on the wrong woman in this roster. I think WWE is more confident in Rhea than Jade right now.
Jay shot way too high. She shot way too high on this one. I was like, sis, I don't think this is the mountain you want to climb right now.
But she's doing it though, and like good for her. I'm happy that she's like, you know what? I got this much confidence. I'm going to do this. How good you're going to do this, I don't know. I mean, I can understand that part, but the part that does it for me is like during the exchange. Once she starts bringing up creative, I was like, oh, you're not doing yourself any favors now. Oh, she brought up Twitter and watched it.
Yeah. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it on today's show. Don't worry.
But as far as like Cody and Drew, I mean, it was the result that we all knew it was going to happen. SP3 said what was going to happen.
He did. I mean, fair.
No, like step by step. He said 3 steps.
Yeah. I literally I'm watching like the first 5 minutes of this matchup. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna tweet this out because I don't want to. It's better if I do it. Mm-hmm. No, I said it was better if I do it in the chat so I could just reply to myself and be like 1 down, 2 down, 3 for 3. I was like 5 minutes in. I was like ref bump, Jacob Fatu interference.
I saw that. Yes. I saw all that. He was like, second ref bump. What? Like we had 3 refs.
Yo, I was dying.
Like you could work there, SP. Like I'm telling you, you called the whole thing.
Because it's so predictable. It's not good. It's not good that I can just predict what's gonna happen. And it's not. I was like, this match is going way too well. They're gonna mess this up. We need 2 ref bumps. I should have put ref bump. Because I knew it would probably be more than 1, but I was like, you know what? On the safe side, ref bump, Fatu interference, Cody wins.
Yeah, man. And it's like, and again, like I said, like I really don't know how to feel about it because it's like in one hand, I'm glad that this feud is over because it needed to be over. But then on the other hand, it's like
we got Cody Rhodes that's the whole thing.
Champion. We got Cody Rhodes champion again, and it's just like now you're just stat padding.
Josh, I'm telling you right now, friend. I'm sorry to say, but this feud is not over.
Oh no, it's over. I'm confident it's over.
Okay.
Drew is cooked.
That's not Drew's fault, though.
No, it's not. They set him up for failure.
Yes.
Well, they did, but he's still cooked. That's the problem. He's still no matter what.
I don't see it that way.
I'm sorry. Once you have your 2 biggest stars bury you the way you did, and then you lose, and then you're not even main event in WrestleMania. I'm sorry, bro. You might want to go to AEW. I want to say TNA because TNA ain't gonna pay you. So it's like I don't know.
He's already been there too.
Yeah, so I was like, I mean, it's like I don't know.
I don't see him.
But he's another example of like what you guys said. Like Drew is another example of what you guys said, where they should have struck when the iron was hot, and the iron was hot a few times when it came to Drew. So now by the time they did it, it was kind of like, oh, all right, he was transitional. And he was transitional to the guy that already had the championship before him. So it's like,
transitional for 2 Cody reigns, because we needed 2 of them, guys. We needed 2 Cody reigns.
And that's why I'm in fear of Orton winning, because if Orton wins, guess what? The title's going right back to Cody. That's the problem.
Is this the cycle? Is this the cycle's going to continue? It's going to go on and on and on. Like, this is what WWE. This is what we do. We make cinema. We make these fantastical storylines that go on and on and on like a circular motion. This is what we do. Did you enjoy the show? All part of the show.
No, but the thing is,
thinks that not doing like a little press conference afterwards was saving him. No, sir.
Dude, he is a fucking coward. He's a fucking coward. No, not a dummy. He's a coward. He's a coward. He didn't want to get booed again. He got booed in Saudi Arabia, and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna do this interview backstage,"
which was terrible. Like the interview didn't help at all.
You know what's funny? I pointed that shit out. Everyone was like, "Wait a minute, that motherfucker ain't go outside. What the fuck?" Like when I pointed that out, I was like, "Oh, so now he avoided crowds."
He didn't want to be with those. He didn't want those people to crucify him. They would have crucified. I mean, bullshit. They would have said so much. They would have had to stop the whole taping.
Yeah, and Dion's right. It was a lot of people. It wasn't just me or Josh or Krssi. It was a lot of y'all in the chat that were like saying that Drew may lose the title back before Mania because all the signs pointed to that. It was like hitting us with red flags. Oh, Roman and Punk just cut his balls off. Oh, he keeps getting his ass whooped every week and running away from Cody and Jacob Fatu. Oh, they didn't put Jacob Fatu in the Elimination Chamber. They put Cody instead. Oh, they're gonna do a swerve. Oh, it's gonna be a multi-man matchup. All of these things pointed to Drew is not gonna have this title by Mania, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, it definitely was not going to be 1-on-1, and at most, Drew would have been champion going into Mania, and that would have been a fatal 4-way. And people did not want that either. So it was like he was screwed. Drew was screwed no matter what, and I feel bad because I'm like, I like Drew McIntyre, but it's also how creative, it's also how they present you, and they haven't presented him well. That's the problem too. It's like, because this whole Cody and Drew feud, it was 6 months. It shouldn't have been 6 months, and we got like the same cycle to just get back to where we started with Cody Rhodes being champion again. You didn't need to do all of this. You didn't need to do this whole thing just to go back the same road you were going to do anyway. You know what I mean? That was the problem that I was having last night, and this was what I was talking about. I was like, it has nothing to do with Cody winning. It has nothing to do with Drew winning. My problem is that you did all this extra shit that you didn't need to do just to get the same result for the guy main eventing again for the same fucking show.
This is like doing you get an equation of 2 + 2 and you start doing trigonometry to get to 4. Like you just add 2 + 2. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing trigonometry for addition? Like it doesn't make sense. If you're just going to do what you want to do, and that's Cody Rhodes holding the WWE Championship, it did Drew no favors to have a here nigga damn title reign where it was just quite obvious he wasn't the focus. And like this is why I've been on this podcast for weeks just begging. I was like begging, please let Drew hold this title because this will do irreversible damage to him if this is the reign that you give him for the first time in front of fans, especially. Mind you, his previous reigns were either 5 minutes or in the pandemic. That's all he's gotten, and then you gave him this reign. He holds the title for 60 days, beats Sami Zayn, who he always beats for the 12th time, and he gets his ass kicked by Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes on a weekly basis. He's running away and causing mischief. Can't even screw the right person, screw over the right person in Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. all to get his ass kicked in the chamber. And then the whole contract clause, the whole crust of this title reign was that contract that he signed for the 3 stages of hell, where he revealed in London, I was at that show, where he said he put in the clause that Cody couldn't get a rematch, all for Nick Aldis to say, oh, you didn't listen to me, so I'm not gonna listen, I'm not gonna hold my word. Like, that's not how contracts work.
Yeah,
that's not how contracts work. You can't say, oh, you weren't listening to me, so I'm gonna go back on the contract. That is legal. That is illegal, sir. Like, I know everybody in the chat's calling Sami Zayn a massive geek, but Sami Zayn is the only person who was making sense on last night's show. He was absolutely right to call out Cody getting a title shot when he didn't earn it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. He lost. His ass lost. Multiple times. He lost the Rumble. He lost Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then he still got the title shot.
Yeah. Oh man, can't
make this up. You can't make it up.
Can't make it up. Can't make it up. We got this fire burns who's going a little too extreme for me. He says we desperately need Vince back over Triple H and Triple K. I love you. I respect you. Era. I'm not willing to go that far.
Right.
Willing to go that far.
No.
Triple H is not who I want to be Booker, but also Vince is not who I want to be Booker either. Give the keys to Ryan Ward. Give the keys to Ryan Gerwitz.
And my question is, in 2026, do you want a Vince McMahon who could barely move and talk and have ideas in 2026? His ideas were bad before he left. You think his ideas are even better now? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Bajai finishes says 2 + 2 = 4. Show your work. Show your work equals WWE Unreal.
Now that's funny.
How did we get here?
How did we get here?
Dion saying, I think Drew will be fine. Edge's first reign was like 4 weeks and his career recovered, but I understand what y'all saying. Edge in his 4 weeks as come on, Dion. This is a bad comparison. Edge in his 4 weeks as WWE champion did the live sex celebration, which is still one of the highest rated Raw segments of all time. He did a great 2 to 3 week program with Ric Flair where he beats him in a great TLC matchup, and then he drops it back to John Cena, and then he eventually wins it back from John Cena. If Drew McIntyre is going to win the title back from Cody Rhodes, this is even dumber. This is even dumber. That's a bad comparison. I'm sorry. I respect you, but nah, that's the wrong one. Wrong title reign to bring up. And it's not Drew's first title reign as well. That's the other topper. This is his fourth title reign.
They're not thinking they're thinking short term, not long term. They're thinking little moments here and there, and I think they kind of see, or the people are telling them this is not working. You have to do something different.
Oh shit! This is fourth. I just remember. Oh god, yeah, he's definitely cooked. He's definitely cooked. I'm telling you.
Two title reigns in the pandemic. The 5-minute title reign at WrestleMania 40, and then this one.
Yeah, the 5 minute at 40 really killed them. I feel like.
5 minutes at 40, he could get over that. And he went on to have probably his greatest rivalry of all time with CM Punk after that,
yes,
where that elevated him to a certain status. And then they sat on him for a year when he was the hottest he's ever been coming out of that CM Punk feud. They sat on him for over a year. Remember last year at this time, going into WrestleMania, everybody was talking about, yo, do they even care about Drew? Do they even see Drew as a main eventer? He's facing Damian Priest in a not important rivalry going into that show, and he over-delivered at that show. And this year was supposed to be, oh, now we actually got plans for Drew. We got plans for Drew. Guess what the plans are? It's just the same Damian Priest feud, except this time it's Jacob Fatu. Congratulations.
And I didn't even like that feud. That shit was sickening trash. So,
WWE. I'm sorry. But we got more to talk about from WWE. unfortunately. WWE Raw this week. This was actually a good show from WWE Raw for the first time since like January 19th. Last week's Raw with the AJ Styles retirement did 2.8 million viewers. It was number 7 on Netflix. This week's show featured The Vision kicking off the program. I've never seen that before. Only for Adam Pearce and multiple masked man who pulled Austin Theory and Logan Paul from the ring, only for Seth Rollins to appear and attack Paul Heyman with a steel chair shot to the back, shout outs to the Shield, and a curb stomp that busted Heyman open. But Jimmy Uso attacked Austin Theory while they were loading Paul Heyman into the ambulance, as Jimmy wanted revenge for the attack on Jey Uso, which he assumed was done by the Vision. And also we saw LA Knight was driving the ambulance with Heyman inside of it and almost ran someone down. Never give him the keys to the car. Later, Uso scored a victory over Theory via disqualification after interference from Logan Paul, but Jey Uso came out to make the save for his twin brother as they stood tall against the Vision here. Then you had the Ring General Gunther. He beat Dragon Lee in a great opener after the Ring General unmasked the Luchador. I don't want to have that up too long. I don't want to get in trouble with the Lucha Libre community. Sorry. Then Gunther picked up the victory here.
You know what?
To plenty of pissed off fans. I don't want them to compare that to saying the N-word or anything like that. You get some crazy stuff nowadays. You had also OG Americano, because you know WWE cares about the Lucha Libre community. We got a Brit and a American dressed as luchadors. Great respect that WWE shows it. OG El Grande picked up a win over Ryu Americano, getting the better of Los Americanos once again. Then you also had AJ Lee. She cut a promo about her Elimination Chamber win for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship and issued a challenge to anyone to be a fighting champion. Later, it was announced there will be a gauntlet to determine the number 1 contender for the IC Championship next week. Rio seemingly had a farewell promo as Rhea Ripley prepares to head to Friday Night SmackDown to build up her WrestleMania 42 clash with Jade Cargill. Danhausen made his Raw debut with the Manhausens for Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, and then he went on to curse Dominic Mysterio. This led to Dirty Dom being cost the Intercontinental Championship by Danhausen, as well as the Judgment Day, who couldn't get along and couldn't get on the same page, as Penta, in a very good matchup, wins the Intercontinental Championship, his first title in WWE since signing last year. And then finally, Roman Reigns made his return to Monday Night Raw and got into another in-ring confrontation with his WrestleMania opponent, CM Punk. Punk mentioned how he has to carry Roman and that he brought him into WWE, which Roman pointed out, you brought the Shield and the other two, not him. Reigns also said, we brought back Punk for the 30 to 40-year-olds still living at home in their mom's basements to sell some tickets and pop a house in Chicago. But having the world title is above Punk's pay grade. He said that he's going to beat Punk. He's going to send him on a John Cena retirement tour and then send him down to NXT to train the next generation for the tribal chief to smash. While Punk responded by calling out Roman being alone, that he is only in the WrestleMania main event because he's the champion, and said that he will bury Roman at Mania and he won't be alone anymore because he will bury Roman next to his father, to get the final word to close this week's Monday Night Raw. Krssi Love, what did you think about Monday Night Raw this week, especially that final promo between Roman and Punk?
The Danhausen stuff should have been done that way, not the sideshow act that they made him look like on the pay-per-view that you guys had on the Saturday. But, you know, hey, this Danhausen promo was great. Like, you know, this is how Danhausen is. He's comedy. He's supposed to do stuff like that. So that was great. So yeah, once he put this thing on Dom, I was like, damn, Dom gonna lose. I was like, shit. But I mean, I guess it had to happen. But what are we gonna do? I guess makes the the whole like division of the Judgment Day is like finally going to start to happen in our faces now when they should have been did it. But again, 2 years too late. But hey, look where we are now. See, the promo exchange between Punk and Roman, I just think that for Roman's comeback, or to make him like you talked about my dead dad. Okay, let me talk about your dead dog. Or let me talk about we have to take the Michelle Obama way and just like when you go low, we're gonna just go lower. We're just gonna go to hell. So this is where we are. You talked about you're gonna bury me next to my dad. Really, Punk? Like this is all you can come up with. Like I figure you could come up with better stuff. But hey, I mean, we know you're gonna lose, so it's whatever.
Yeah. Josh, what did you think about Monday Night Raw this week and Punk and Roman's promo? Did you think it was as good as their first time around a couple of weeks ago?
Like I said, Raw was definitely better than SmackDown. There were things that just didn't, they didn't really try too hard that they usually do. The Danhausen stuff was really good. Like everybody's been saying, this is how they should have presented him, right? Because I said myself, the backlash, that's a backlash, the Elimination Chamber, that I didn't have a problem with the presentation. The problem is that you present him like this big giant star, and that was the issue. You had the way that you present him. That's not the way you should have presented him. But I thought like the stuff with Dom, like it was entertaining for like what we got. And then Dom ended up losing because I was like, yo, if Dom don't lose, man, Danhausen is cooked. Like he's officially cooked in the company. Because you can't you can't curse somebody and then the person doesn't
lose, yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that it happened, people were talking about that. People were just like, oh shit, the curse worked. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's the entertaining aspect of everything. Like that's why that worked, Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I didn't mind it, winning, finally. He's another situation where it's like he got the IC title. Mm-hmm. Now, like, people are happy, but then it's like, it also feels like kind of like, oh, maybe it's like a year too late or whatever the case may be. Because he was constantly going after the damn title. Right. Right. At least he has it now. Let's see who he goes after next, right? Right.
They're probably gonna do a whole another like gauntlet or like tournament to have his person or whatever. Or they're gonna do a ladder match. Who knows? They have to do something like spectacular or whatnot.
Yeah. And then as far as the Cody and Roman stuff, I mean, I liked it. Did I think it was better than the first one? No. Because like again, for me, I think Roman, like the last 2 weeks especially, Roman has better material.
Yes, for sure.
Things that there's things that he could say and things that he could use against Punk that's more of a way more gotcha than to Punk. Punk doesn't have that for Roman because there's not a lot you could really use against Roman. You could use certain things like, how he was being pushed all those years and then people weren't behind him, but like that's nothing compared to like the shit that Punk has done. Mm-hmm. Punk, I thought his delivery was better because Roman did kind of fumble. He fumbled with some of his words, and I think that's where kind of like it took me out, especially when he brought like the NXT stuff. He fumbled some of his words, and he just didn't look. He didn't look as confident. Like I felt like he started off confident, and then once that happened, it kind of like you kind of felt like the energy kind of changed. Mm. And then with Punk, like Punk's delivery is better. But then his material kind of sucks. That's the problem.
Yeah, right. It's like old like guy, uncle. Like
it's like very like cool. It's like very cookie cutting kind of like dad joke kind of like promo like like where it's like, all right, bro, like you're showing your age now because none of the stuff you're saying is good. Mm-hmm. And then obviously he used that line. I mean, in retrospect, like who won the battle? I mean, Punk won the battle. Especially because of that last line. Do I personally like the last line? Not really, because I thought Punk, if we were talking about 2011, 2012 Punk, he would have come up with better stuff. He wouldn't even have to use that. But the fact that we're in 2026 you had to use that, and then now you're opening up the gates for Roman to bring up your dog. And you know how I feel about dogs, and I'm like, damn, bro, like why did you, like why
you
did
know how people feel about their dogs, right? But also
like,
how people feel about their dads.
Yeah, like but then also
people, but like SP, like you said on your review with JJ, like that's something that could be triggering or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah, but then also it's like the shit that he was saying too was just like, okay, this is a lie. That's a lie. Like, what are you fucking saying right now? You know?
Yeah, saying that Roman would not be in the Roman, who has main evented every WrestleMania since 2015, except for 2 when he had leukemia and there was a global pandemic. Those are the only reasons Roman Reigns has not main evented every single WrestleMania since 2015. It has nothing to do with you, Punk. You literally cried last year because Roman made it possible for you to be in your first WrestleMania main event. How delusional are you?
Yeah, and then it's not only that too, but then some of the stuff that, you know, about like him, you know, like when Roman was like, oh, you know, like that tweet that bothered you, huh? Like you're sensitive. And it's like, we all know this man is sensitive. He still hasn't gotten over Hangman Page, and you want to tell me that you're not bothered? Get the fuck out of here with that. That's how I know he's lying.
I'm not bothered by what people say on podcasts. I was like, what? What?
He's a fucking liar. Like, this is the same man that went on the press conference that shitted on the fucking EVPs of a company. You're telling me that you're not bothered? You're not bothered by rumors? Get the fuck out of here with that. That's why I think, to me, like, that always puts me out with Punk, because it's like, how are you babyface and you're just sitting here making up a bunch of bullshit lies? You know, his wife was doing the same thing. What about the Becky stuff? And then don't even get me started with her, because man, that nostalgia act has run off. Like, that shit we're out.
His rants cost like 2 months ago though.
And the thing is with AJ, right? You know, she hasn't been in the business. I mean, you know, granted, she hasn't been wrestling. She hasn't been doing all this stuff for over 10 years, right? So I try to give grace. I try to be, you know, I try to give the benefit of the doubt. But the problem now, the problem now is that she's doing things that worked when she was around 2012, 2013. We're in 2026. None of that stuff is it's not really good, because the women have adapted. The women have gotten better. So when she's wrestling the way that she wrestled back in 2013. She's talking the way that she talked in 2013. And you have a bunch of women who gotten better at talking, who's gotten better in the ring. The women have been showcased better, for better or worse, knowing that they could be doing better, but it's fucking leaps better now than it was back then. Yeah. So now you're starting to see that, right? That's the difference between like AJ and Trish Stratus. With Trish Stratus, we saw Trish Stratus probably got better as she got older in the ring, compared to like AJ.
She basically like adapted to the new era. That's the difference between AJ and AJ and Trish. Trish adapted, where it seems like AJ still trying to do the same thing she was doing 10 years ago.
Yeah, and you're starting to see that. You're starting to see that a lot more now, and you're starting to see people are like, they're kind of just over it. As far as like, you know, like, did I really need a match at Elimination Chamber between her and Becky? No. And then you having her as IC champion just to be in the same position where Becky's probably gonna win it back at Mania. I just think, I don't know what they're doing with that.
But it's so dumb though. You just wanted her to win because it was in Chicago, like
pretty much.
She's not even hometown. It's just like, okay, we get it. You got married and you settled there. I get it, but it's like the match didn't need to happen, and then we got what we got with the match. Like, it wasn't good. So
hey, that's the state of WWE right now. A lot of things is not really connecting like it used to or would otherwise. We do got another super chat donation from our main man Chuck Berries here. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. Once again, you've been awesome today. We appreciate you for that. He says, if this was 10 years ago, I actually think that the team of True Punishment or Punishing Truth, whichever, LOL, may have been formidable to a certain extent. but not today, SMH. No, not after a year where they have told us R-Truth is still the comedy act. He's still a guy that we shouldn't take seriously. And Damian Priest is not to someone that we even saw like a year ago or 2 years ago, where he was a main eventer, a Finge main eventer at that point. No, 2 years ago, he was world heavyweight champion. I think that was, no, it was 2 years ago, 2024. 2024.
Oh, okay.
So I think 2 years ago he was in a much better position where this would feel like an actual good tag team, but not after you've kind of positioned him as the mid-carder.
Yeah, and then also Damian Priest has kind of been more of a poster boy for the company. Like, he goes out and he represents the company. He hasn't really been wrestling a lot. He hasn't been on TV a lot. He's more of hey, let's go here and then promote stuff. And he's good at that. Like, he's good at promoting stuff. Yeah. Like, when they're doing the parties, like the viewing party stuff, he was the one that was hosting it. He's been doing stuff like that. So now you're trying to bring him back. Obviously Damian Priest. I mean, he's done more in WWE than I've ever expected. So anything he's doing now is kind of like, it's whatever. But I do agree with that. Like, the whole stuff with the R-Truth, like, yeah, it probably would have worked back then because it was funny and people. But now it's like you wanted to put focus on your tag team division, and this is what you do with that tag team division. When you haven't been using them, let's decide to use them now, and then R-Truth and Damian Priest are number one contenders. All right, cool.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at in this era. It's a new era, guys. Don't worry, we'll have a new era right after WrestleMania 2, so we can wash away this era as well. But speaking of new era, one more thing about the Punk and Roman stuff. Like I said on Tuesday at Radio Raw Review, it could be like triggering to some people and stuff. I just really think that these two guys are better than that, and that you could have got to this point where you're mentioning the dead father or, going to lead to a dead dog line. But it feels like way too soon. But it feels like way too soon to do it. This is the second time they're going face to face, and we're already mentioning dead fathers. Like, you could have had Roman, and Roman's going way too shoot with all of this. Like, he could just go from like a kayfabe perspective instead of saying like he's a part of management and we bought Punk back to sell t-shirts and do this other stuff. He could just talk about the fact like you're not built for this. He was like, you spent how long here in your first run and couldn't main event WrestleMania? The only reason you're in the main event of WrestleMania is because of me. I put you in the main event of WrestleMania last year, and what did you do in response? You cried, you took my wise man, and then my wise man made you look like an idiot because you asked him to be in your corner, and he turned on you and sided with your arch nemesis, my arch nemesis as well. So if you took my wise man from me, Seth took it from you, and I've taken everything from Seth, so I don't even need to get back my wise man from him. This was paying what I owe, basically. Like, you could have gone so many different directions before we get to dead dog, dead father, because it just felt to do it. Yeah. It felt very lowbrow, like scraping the bottom of the barrel, basically. At this point, when you've only done 2 promos, there was nothing that should have led to mentioning dead fathers at this point.
Yeah, but I also think that these guys are way better that it doesn't even need to be mentioned at all. Like, even like down the road, like, you don't even need to bring this up because, again, I get like the realism and the heat. I understand that, right? And people will probably try to say, "Oh, they did worse in the attitude." Like, but it's like we're not in the attitude era, so it don't fucking matter if it's the attitude era or not, But these two guys are professionals, and they've been on the top for a reason. That they don't need to do this. You don't need to scrape in the fucking bottom of the barrel to do something like this, right? And that's why I was like, once he brought up the dead father thing again, I was just like, damn, now he's gonna drag poor Larry into this. Larry hasn't even been gone for like 8 months, and then he's gonna do this. Like, god damn,
Larry can't even rest for a little bit. Damn.
He didn't even do nothing to nobody. They just raised like thousands of dollars for like the shelter that he was at. Like, when Punk adopted him, And then that's what you're gonna do to the poor little fella? Like, come on.
But that's kind of the route that we're going at this point. So yeah, I just felt like they could do better. You know, some people will say Roman won the promo. Some people will say Punk. I think it was a 9-9 round. It was a tie at that round. That's what I would have graded it on the scorecard. But
yeah,
someone who won't be getting a high grade on the scorecard or didn't is the Road Dogg Brian James, because we gotta talk about Dick Diggity Dog being cut, being gone from WWE, as we had some breaking news this week on a Thursday. We put up a short here on the channel that basically had our reaction to it as we found out live on AE Ramble this week. But yes, it looks like WWE's creative team is undergoing some shifts, according to a new report from Body Slam Plus. Per the report, WWE Hall of Famer Road Dogg, aka Brian James, has departed from the company. The Body Slam Plus report has no other details about the reasoning behind Road Dogg's exit. However, PW Insider, who is also reporting Road Dogg's exit, notes that the WWE Hall of Famer voluntarily made the decision to leave the creative team. Road Dogg became the new co-lead writer for WWE SmackDown about a year ago, alongside SmackDown writer John Skawada. And then back in October, it was reported that SmackDown was making additions to its creative side to help make the show more enjoyable moving forward. There are no other details available on Road Dogg's WWE exit from that report. The former DX member and WWE Tag Team and Intercontinental Champion has been working behind the scenes for many years. He was previously released from WWE in early January 2022. However, he returned later in the year, taking up the role of live events SVP that was previously held by Jeff Jarrett. Road Dogg had a stint as a head SmackDown writer before in 2017, I believe, from 2017 to 2022. He resigned from that role, though, in April of 2019, transitioning to a role in NXT as a coach and producer for the developmental brand. PW Insider had more details on the shocking news of WWE Hall of Famer Road Dogg leaving. PW Insider reported that it was a voluntary move and that Road Dogg opted to quit WWE. He did so in person on March 5th, and per the report, WWE sources indicated that James openly expressed his unhappiness and offered his resignation from the creative team. The report shuts down the notion that Road Dogg's exit was part of a creative readjustment prompted by WWE. Instead, it was the opposite, with Road Dogg wanting to quit of his own volition. The timing appears somewhat ironic, as WWE also released information about meet and greets with Road Dogg next month at WWE World in Las Vegas during WrestleMania week. PW Insider notes that when asked about James resigning from his creative role in WWE, sources reminded the outlet that James is still under a WWE Legends deal, which is separate from his employment contract with the company. With that in mind, the report notes that it's entirely possible that James will still make his scheduled dates at WWE World. Then, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the departure followed James' annual performance review, which reportedly influenced his decision to move on. Meltzer noted that a person close to the situation indicated that tension had been brewing behind the scenes. While WWE has not issued a formal statement regarding the circumstances, additionally, Meltzer reported that those close to the situation believe James chose to step away because he wasn't happy with the review. He also noted that James might say he left over something else, and only he would know exactly why he did so, but it was ultimately his decision to leave. Another detail surrounding this whole situation involved a convention appearance that James was a part of. WWE ended up withdrawing the approval for that convention appearance that he wanted to do. Ultimately, the decision to leave appears to have come from James himself following the annual performance review. Road Dogg, 56 years old, has long been associated with WWE with both in-ring and backstage roles. As a performer, he gained mainstream popularity and recognition as part of D-Generation X during the Attitude Era. After his active wrestling career slowed down, he's transitioned into a behind the scenes position, eventually working within WWE's creative structure. During his time as the head writer on the creative team, James contributed to the direction of the SmackDown programming and storyline development. His experience from earlier eras of wrestling often influenced creative discussions within the writer's room. For now, there are no confirmed details about his next professional step. Of course, he was also featured in WWE Unreal, which did not paint him in the best light when it comes to his creative output and his creative ideas in the writer's room. So this all comes off the heels of his appearance and reputation damaging performance on WWE Unreal. But Krssi Love, we'll start with you. What do you think about Road Dogg's exit from WWE? And it comes mere weeks, 5 weeks before WrestleMania 42. This is like a first time ever thing. Like, we had Corey Hayes of Body Slam Plus, who made the original report on the podcast yesterday for our preview of Vengeance Day. And he said, like, this is the first time he's ever heard of anything like that. Someone deciding to leave like less than 6 weeks before WrestleMania. But what did you think about all this?
I feel like there's more to it, but they're not giving us that. I mean, I feel like there's some underlying stuff. He should have took Bruce and Michael Hayes with him, but hey, what are we gonna do? We can't, wipe up the whole team, but you need to, like, if we're gonna get rid of, we're gonna like wipe off the whole dust of all the older people that's been there and like just start off fresh. Because guess what? Start off fresh, you never know what can happen with new stuff. We've never known until you do it. But he did not look good from the uncut. I think the uncut is more of a bad than a good thing. I think they need to don't do another season of this stuff because it's not doing what it's supposed to do, And we said this before. I think you're giving us too much when we saw like the whole uncut stuff. Like, it's cool to see some of it, but don't give us everything because you're taking away the element and love for wrestling. You're making it more of like a soap opera now, and like this behind the scenes stuff is just not what we need. Listen, the best of Road Dogg, he wasn't doing a good job and on the bigger and better thing. So
that was cold, but I love it.
Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord,
with a good Lord split you.
There you go. Toodles, I hate to say we would miss you, but I would be lying. So
Yeah, we don't
maybe
like to
Chelsea
lie.
Green can finally get something. Nope, that's not gonna happen because Michael Hayes.
No. He's the one that was pushing for Chelsea Green. Remember, he was the one that was always like,
nope. Let me retake that because I was like, it's Michael Hayes. It wasn't him. It was Michael Hayes. So
yeah. It was Michael Hayes. It wasn't him. He was actually in support of Chelsea all the time. That's anytime they be talking about something else, he was like, you know what we should do? We should put the title on Chelsea Green. We're not talking about that right now, sir. What are you talking about? But I think that WWE Unreal, it feels like it was a smear campaign to throw someone else under the bus by Triple H. Because you have to assume that Triple H had like clearance to see the footage before it went out. So like, I feel like this like his performance review had to be like him being like them saying like, oh, you're not contributing, and him being unhappy. I've heard from Corey Hayes, who made the original report, that he's been unhappy about the changes and the readjustment that they've been doing because he was demoted. He was demoted from the lead writer position and became co-lead writer, and he's had to basically being under Ryan Ward. Yeah, he's been having to answer to Ryan Ward, who's basically the in-between man between the lead writers and Triple H. So I heard he was unhappy about that. Then he heard his performance review and just basically been like, all right, I'm going to make the decision to get out of here before y'all try to get rid of me. What do you think about this whole situation, Josh?
First of all, I want to say that Krssi was preaching when she said that. I mean, hey, Road Dogg was number 15 in my bum 15 for a reason. He was a bum, and that's why he had a bad review. Like, I'm not surprised. But I think a big part of it was definitely Unreal. Like the fact that you exposed what you did, and that happens. I don't think it's a coincidence. And then apparently it's been brewing for a while. So I guess like his performance review was just the last straw of that. And before anybody says anything, I don't feel that bad for Road Dogg. A couple years, a long time ago, this was about maybe 2017, 2018. This man got into an argument with me on Facebook, out of all fucking places, while he's working with WWE, because I made a joke about Goldberg and Roman, and he got all pissy. And I said, bro, you need to fucking relax. This is a joke. And he says, oh, I'm sorry. He apologized. But then I said, fuck you. Because it's like, fuck you.
Oh, Josh.
So fuck Road Dogg. Like, he quit because he's a bitch. Like, they told you suck at your job. And then you say, you know what? I'm leaving. And guess what? Nobody's gonna. Where you gonna go? You gonna go to TNA? Good luck with that, because you still gonna suck with them too. Because AEW ain't hiring you. Remember that time you were begging for AEW? Please give me a job, TK. I'll show you how to write. And guess what? They've been doing a better job without you. Why the fuck would they want to hire you? So fuck you, Road Dogg.
Josh is not pulling any punches, but I respect it. Yeah, like Road Dogg he marked the end of the great run that SmackDown Live had back in 2017 when he first became a lead writer in WWE. Like Ryan Ward was the lead writer for SmackDown in the first 6 months in 2016 after the WWE draft that they did back that year, and it was going well. SmackDown was overachieving. They got the short end of the stick in the draft, yet they were the better performing show than Monday Night Raw that had all the stars. They had Roman, they had Seth, they had Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and SmackDown just had Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, they had Dean Ambrose, John Cena, AJ Styles, but they were the much better show and they were more consistent than Monday Night Raw. And then 2017 happened. They made the change to put Road Dogg in the lead writer's position, and we got Jinder Mahal as WWE champion, which made everything on SmackDown. It was like a cancer at the top of SmackDown that just trickled down and nothing was the same. AJ Styles and Kevin Owens had a rivalry that nobody liked and nobody enjoyed. Like when it's that bad, when you could put two of your best performers against each other, but the writer is that bad, it says it all. And then last year, when he's lead writer of SmackDown again, and it goes to 3 hours, it was objectively the worst wrestling program in all of wrestling. I don't care who gave NXT worst weekly show. SmackDown was much worse at 3 hours than NXT was at 2. So he has been a part of two of the worst eras of SmackDown ever. And then on top of all of that, like Krssi said, then you had Unreal that pulled back the curtain and showed his incompetence. It showed his incompetence where his focus is at. Him bringing up Chelsea Green when they're asking for ideas about Julia, him basically trying to push for R-Truth and John Cena to get more story when it was quite clear that the company wasn't concerned with that and Triple H wasn't concerned with that. Like, he was not good. And he's not the only one, though. He's not the biggest problem in that writer's room. You still have Bruce Pritchard there. You still have Michael P.S.A.'s there. You still got Triple H on top. Those are bigger issues than Road Dogg. Road Dogg feels like he's the fall guy, but he's a fall guy that no one's going to feel bad for. And a lot of WWE fans are viewing this as a W. But I think that you have taken one person out, but you still have 3 to 4 that's still in there. That's still going to be an issue for you. So I don't know if this is going to be the big change and the big switch up that a lot of fans want it to be.
Nope, it's not. You got to take
as long as you got like 20, because as long as you got like 20 people in that room, it doesn't really matter when it comes to that aspect, right? Because obviously, like, for example, like if you take Triple H out of his position, that's a big move. That would be like a way bigger move, and that's like, holy shit, what's going on, right? Moving Road Dogg when he already got demoted, it doesn't really say much, because he's not doing what they've been doing lately, from what I understand too. So it's like he quit, but then it's like, what was he doing anyway? All he said was, I don't know. That's all he contributed to. hey, let's put the title on this person. Okay, then what we do next? I don't know. I don't know what we do. You know? So it's like, it is what it is. I mean, you know, it's like they wanted the show, and I think more of this kind of fallout will happen. I'm not talking about just writers, but people are gonna dislike what they see on these kind of shows, and they will end up leaving because of it, because of the portrayal of them. And I do believe that was a big factor. I do believe a big factor was the show that made Road Dogg bad, and I think that was the tipping point, in my opinion.
They made him the fall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta blame somebody. He had to be the one that gets, and that's the blame. Unfortunately, sorry.
And this is a great line here by Volub. He's like, "That's treating the system, not the disease. The disease is up top. It's always the main guy. It's the guy who gave him the position. Remember what I just read in that report. Road Dogg got released in January of 2022. Why did he get hired back? Yep. Because Vince was out, Triple H was back in, and he was like, I got to get my boys some jobs. I gotta get Road Dogg back in here, and I'm gonna get him in as live events SVP, but then I'll eventually transition him back into the creative role." And that's what he did, and that's the results.
This man has been fired like 3 times from creative. When are we gonna learn that this man is not good? You don't get fired 3 times from the same job if you're fucking good.
How you get fired on your day off? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like Friday.
We got Dion, who has been a member of the channel for 10 months. Thank you so much, Dion. All the support you give us in the chat. You're one of the good brothers in the chat. That we love your takes. And even if we don't agree with you at all, you love that you're always coming up here and speaking your mind. That's what Tru Heel Heat's all about. He sends us a super chat donation here. Thank you so much, Dion, for that as well. He says, "Damn, that sucks for Road Dogg, made to look like an idiot on Unreal and subsequently fired." I mean, he resigned. He resigned from his role, but like Josh said, I think it was more like y'all said in the chat as well. It was more he saw the signs. He got that bad performance review and saw the writing on the wall and was like, "Let me check on out before y'all cut me."
Yep.
And he says he's just a cop. Yep, he says he's just a cog in the machine. Doubt much will change. Yeah, and we saw that last night on SmackDown.
Yep, that's it. That's a whole fact.
We also got Volub. He says, "I will say this for TNA, if they get him in the writer's room, it will be a step up for them." That's saying a lot about TNA's creative. You gonna put Road Dogg in there with Tommy Dreamer and Delirious?
That sounds like it's gonna get worse than better.
Ugh. Yeah, that sounds awful. That sounds horrendous. Jesus. But not the only part of this whole creative shakeup that's gone down in WWE this week, as there was much more to talk about when it comes to shaking things up, coming off the heels of Road Dogg's departure from the company. The company made some other decisions as well. Andrea Williams announced that she is the new VP and lead writer for WWE SmackDown. WWE Raw, excuse me. Williams made the announcement on Thursday, right after the Road Dogg news became clear. On her LinkedIn account, Williams wrote, "I'm happy to share that I'm starting a new position as vice president and lead writer at WWE." Per her LinkedIn account, Williams has been with WWE as a writer and producer since October 2020. She was later promoted to senior writer and producer in February 2024. With regards to her new role as VP and lead writer, she writes, "As VP and lead writer for WWE's flagship live program, I oversee all creative development for Monday Night Raw, one of television's longest running and highest rated weekly shows. I pitch to and collaborate with executive leadership and cross-functional writing team to conceptualize and execute week-to-week storylines, character arcs, and premier live event buildups, including WrestleMania and Survivor Series. series. I help drive the full creative process from episode rundowns to long-form narrative strategy, developing complex characters and compelling feuds that deepen audience engagement across live broadcasts, digital programs, and social media. My work is informed by an analytical approach, tracking segment performance and audience trends and viewership data to make real-time and long-term programming decisions. In partnership with talent, producers, and brand leadership, I've contributed to record-setting live event attendance and revenue growth, helping position Raw as the cornerstone of WWE's content ecosystem under the TKO umbrella. According to the details reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the Eternal promotion actually took place earlier in the year. Williams was elevated in January as part of the 3-person leadership structure overseeing Raw's writing team alongside Ryan Ward and Jonathan Backstrom. Her recent public announcement confused Dave Meltzer on whether the promotion was newly finalized or merely shared later. In her current position, Williams reports to Ed Koskey, who oversees creative operations. He reports to Bruce Pritchard, who in turn reports to Paul Triple H Levesque. So she got a promotion to 4th in line, apparently. Together, the group manages storyline direction, character development, and major premiere live event builds across WWE programming. Williams originally joined WWE in 2020 as a writer and producer on Raw. Her work in the company's creative system led to a promotion as senior writer in 2024. Her background outside of wrestling includes experience in film and television writing, membership in SAG-AFTRA, and the promotion comes as WWE prepares for its programming for the lead up to WrestleMania 42. So I'm glad that a woman is getting a higher position in WWE creative. This is something that we've asked for years, and they need more women voices to have more power in the company. So it should be good news for the women's division moving forward. Like I said about the Road Dogg exit, though, it just depends because of look who she's reporting to. She's like she's 2 in back of Bruce Pritchard, and Bruce Pritchard is the second guy. He's the right hand to Triple H. That's bad news, in my opinion. Knowing that structure, hearing that basically that pyramid, how that pyramid works, I don't have much faith that this is gonna shake things up the way that people want it to. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, 1, no one really gives a shit, but 2, yeah, you're saying she's like a vice president, but she still has to answer to like 5 people in front of her. Like she still like is like the other people still supersede what she's gonna say. So
and they can still oversee that. That's the thing. It's like you can have the title, but then if you're not giving good ideas, they can still say, "Oh no, we're not going to go with that."
Correct. Exactly.
I mean, on a personal level, it's good for her. I mean, you know, it does give more opportunities for women in the business when it comes to like behind the scenes stuff. So I think on that aspect is good. But as far as like doing the actual job, we'll wait and see what she contributes with. That's the only thing I can really say. When it comes to that, so I don't know.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens with all of this, but WWE seems to be shaking things up at a weird time. Like this is a weird time to make such big creative changes, and it really, to me, just tells us that the creative process and the creative structure has not been in a good place. It's been an absolute mess that they're trying to clean up with 5 weeks away from WrestleMania.
Yep.
Quite the time. Timing is impeccable, I must say. But let's talk about shaking up the WrestleMania championship scene, because there's been a lot of shakeup in regards to that over this past week. You had the whole the whole Elimination Chamber, as well as what went down on last night's Friday Night SmackDown. So we now know that there is a new WWE champion with Cody Rhodes. But of course, for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about how there's been the multi-man matchup that WWE was discussing and other things that they've wanted to do for WrestleMania. According to PW Insider, the current internal plan direction is for Cody Rhodes to defend the WWE Championship against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That obviously would mean that Cody was going to win the title from Drew McIntyre last night. Orton, of course, has his title shot via his win in the Elimination Chamber. The report notes that Cody, going into a Friday Night SmackDown, was supposed to win, and this whole plan has come together very recently. The report adds that Drew McIntyre dropping the title is not a reflection on his current performance as champion. Rather, it's a case of WWE wanting to give fans the Rhodes versus Orton matchup. It goes on to note that the creative is considering a number of possibilities for McIntyre at WrestleMania, including a match with Jacob Fatu. WWE could also decide to make the undisputed WWE Championship bout a triple threat between Rhodes, Orton, and McIntyre. Fightful Select reports that it was indicated to them well over a month ago. A source said as far back as January that both Rhodes and Orton were aware of the plan being pitched as an idea. Body Slam Plus has its own report stating that that discussions turned to Orton versus Rhodes around the start of February, and that both stars were told of the decision to move forward with the pitch last week. And Fightful Select states that the plans around that matchup solidified within the last month. The move is being done in order to shake things up for WrestleMania and pay off the many teases of a matchup between the two over the last few years. Fightful notes that one of the reasons that Rhodes lost the title was to get him in the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber to bolster those events. Body Slam Plus goes on to note that Rhodes and McIntyre did not officially find out that this was the direction for WrestleMania until last week. It adds that the current plan for Drew McIntyre is to have him battle Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania, as most might expect. The Body Slam report goes on to note that to add to that McIntyre will be filming his role for Highlander following WrestleMania. McIntyre is set to play Angus MacLeod, the brother of Henry Cavill's lead role. Chad Stahelski is directing the new take on the fantasy franchise. No word regarding how long McIntyre's filming schedule will last at this time, but of course, filming for movies didn't stop them from putting the title on Cody Rhodes, but apparently it stopped them from keeping Drew McIntyre as WWE champion heading into WrestleMania. Glad to see who's your favorite, Triple H.
It's all a bunch of shit and bullshit.
You
don't gotta tell me all that.
It just feels like Drew McIntyre got the short end of the stick on all of this.
He did.
He definitely did.
Was it Liv Champion when she filmed her movie?
I think so. I think she was. I think they just took her. They just wrote her off.
Oh my god! You see,
Roman was champion when he filmed some movies.
Yep.
Like, come on.
He did Fast and Furious. He was champion. What other movie he did?
He was in the movie with Eddie Murphy that was on Amazon a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago. Excuse me. He was in that movie that he filmed during his 1300 day reign. So let's ask this question. From 0 to 100, how interested are you in Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania? Krssi Love.
2.
From 0 to 100, you're at a 2?
You got a 2%?
Damn.
I don't really want to see. I don't care about this. It gives me see, I'm not the only one. See, some people said 0, -1. No one is really interested in seeing. And don't get me wrong, I like both guys. I'm just
0. God damn.
I'm just this is boring to me. This makes me not want to buy or nor watch this pay-per-view that is in
this chat really breaking the scale. Damn, yo, this chat really breaking the scale. I'll tell you this much. God damn.
No one cares about this.
Everyone is giving a negative so far. Okay, finally, Chuck Berry's. We got 107 card.
We got an actual fucking percentage.
And a negative 10 million. We got a positive. We got Chuck Berry's with 20%. When 20% is the high, that is crazy.
Yeah, you're at negative 10 million. I mean, you probably got to question what you're gonna watch going forward from wrestling wise.
Nothing about this feud is saying I want to purchase a ticket to go to Vegas, spend all of my hard-earned money, excuse me, and take out another mortgage so I can go get a ticket to see this show.
Because that's what it's all about. It's all about this matchup drawing more people. Yeah,
it's not
to come in.
It's not drawing people. And I even saw on like his Facebook, like he put like a Facebook thing about, this is friendship, enemies. Everyone is like, it's so many like mad faces emojis on the reaction of this post. No one gives this is not going to help you guys.
It's funny because people who are very like low on this, everyone else is like very high. And I mean, the only high because
we got Dion who says he's at 80%, could go up if someone turns heel.
Really, Dion? 80%. God bless you. That's great. I'm happy that you have such high expectation for this.
Mind you guys, though, they have faced each other in the last year. They faced each other in the King of the Ring finals. I understand if none of y'all remember that because it wasn't that memorable.
I forgot all about the damn King of the Ring. We had a King of the Ring last year.
Yeah, we did. Cody won it to get the shot at SummerSlam.
That's how he got.
That was my next question. Who won it? Because I don't remember.
Cody won. That's how he faced Cena at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't the thing is that it wasn't a bad matchup. It's just that again, it goes back to where we're at with Randy Orton. Randy Orton is just not that guy anymore. And the fact that you're trying to like reheat something that's hasn't been burned, I mean, like it hasn't been heating up, it's hard to sell that, So I could see where people are very low on it. I could also see where people are very high on it. Why? Because they're Orton fans. So I mean, it's, I guess, right? Like I'm trying to find something positive for that because like,
keep trying, friend, keep trying.
Because for me, I mean, at least for me personally, I'm like, I really didn't want Cody versus Drew again. I didn't want to see another Mania match between them. So it's like getting Orton and Cody is like, it kind of feels relief, but then at the same time, it's like I could see where it could go great, but I could also see where it goes wrong. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would be more interested in this if they would have pulled the trigger or they would have had more overt teases. If this felt like this wasn't a plan, this doesn't even feel like plan B. This feels like plan E. Like, I feel like plan A was Cody and Roman. Mm-hmm. Neither one of those guys wanted to lose to the other. So then plan B was, okay, we're going to do Roman. No, actually, plan A was Roman and Seth, Cody and Punk. Then plan B was Roman and Cody. Neither one of those guys wanted to job to the other. So they said plan C is going to be, you're going to do Roman and Punk, and we're going to do Cody and Drew. Then plan D was the multi-man matchup, which I think that was the best option out of the ones available to us. It was the multi-man match because at least we got someone new into the mix in someone like Jacob Fatu. And that's felt like it's gotten some build since the beginning of this year with Jacob Fatu returning and costing Cody Rhodes the WWE Championship. And now we're at plan E, which was Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton because they've been teasing a matchup for the better part of 2 years. It just feels like uncooked nachos that they're trying to warm up and present it as a fresh meal, and it doesn't taste right.
Yeah, it's like, all right, we got the wrong cheese. Let's use this one. While that cheese is on top of the other cheese.
Yeah. All right, we got someone at 100%. War Heroes at 100% for Cody versus Orton, apparently.
This person is a liar. This person is 100% lying. I've never seen a person in chat in my life. Who are you? Present yourself. Present yourself.
He said Cody and Punk. He's like, no. I've actually.
I mean, 100%
what's your percentage 0 to 100 for Cody versus Orton? Cody versus Orton.
That was bad funny. Damn, I buried the guy for no reason. My bad.
We got Dion. It says Drew versus Orton would have been worse in my opinion. At this point, the only other option would have been a multi-man matchup. Honestly, that's the option that I think is the best one, because at least someone new gets into the mix. Like that's my whole thing. You got to put someone new into this mix. You basically scrapped the plans to put over Braun Breaker, and then Braun Breaker got injured, and Jacob Fatu felt hot when he came back, and it felt like they had momentum for him to put him into the mix, and they still can. It just seems like they're gonna go with a very predictable matchup of Cody versus Orton. And if they're just going to do Cody versus Orton, babyface versus babyface, that's even dumber.
Yeah, I don't like, And that's why I'm like, all right, they're going to turn probably Orton heel, because they're not going to do it to Cody. So it's like, yeah, we'll get like a version of like the Legend Killer again, like, what was the thing that they were doing when he beat Edge? What was it? The greatest wrestler of all time. Remember that bullshit they were pushing? Oh my God.
Oh, the greatest match of all time.
Yeah, and then when Orton won, and then when Orton won, he was called the greatest wrestler of all time.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
oh.
Like, way to go, sir. We're here for you. There we go. But we'll talk more about Cody and Orton as the buildup for WrestleMania takes shape. But we got some more WrestleMania news to get into, as plans for WrestleMania 42 seem to be shaping up. The card for WrestleMania 42 is taking shape, and a new report suggests that it could have a hefty load of matches. Body Slam Plus has published a new report after talking with sources that notes that April's two-night PLE will feature at least 14 bouts between the two nights. The site does not lay out the specific matches, but the report notes that that another source indicated that the show could have as many as 16 matches with the earlier start time. That would be up from last year's show, which had a total of 14 matches across the two nights. WrestleMania 40 also had 14 total matches. If the show does in fact have 16 bouts, it would be the most for a WrestleMania since 2022, when WrestleMania 38 had a total of 16 across two nights, with 7 on night 1 and 9 on night 2. According to WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select, there's also been an idea that has formed within creative that could put at least 6 women's matches on the card for WrestleMania 42.
6?
Yes. At least 6 women's matches for WrestleMania 42 coming up this April. It was reported by WrestleVotes Radio that while the specific matches were not revealed to the outlet, the report notes that at least 5 of the bouts are firmly planted for WrestleMania. The number would be a record for WrestleMania. Last year's show had 3 matches, with Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. 4 matches actually. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. You had Naomi versus Jade Cargill, and Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Body Slam Plus also reports that they have learned of a match that has been in discussion for WrestleMania coming up, that it will be Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. That is a matchup being discussed within WWE Creative, and they could possibly do a double turn where Trick Williams turned babyface and Sami Zayn turns heel in the matchup. According to another report from WrestleVotes, WWE's plans for Gunther at WrestleMania 42 are undetermined at this point. The ring general, of course, is coming off the heels of a very successful 2025 where he had 2 reigns as WWE World Heavyweight Champion, as well as retiring AJ Styles, John Cena, and Goldberg. But apparently, WWE is still undetermined on what he will do for WrestleMania 42 at this time. It said, and I quote, "Undetermined, not something 100% I've heard. Don't know where they're going to go." WrestleVotes Radio went on to note that the 3 most likely choices for WrestleMania matches for Gunther are Brock Lesnar, Obafemi, and Rey Mysterio, in light of Gunther's recent actions with Dragon Lee. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar has an open challenge for WrestleMania 42, which has not yet been answered. Last month, it was reported by the Wrestling Observer newsletter that WWE's internal lineup had Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight. That matchup has not yet been confirmed either. It remains to be seen who the former World Heavyweight Champion will face at WrestleMania 42. Then Dave Meltzer had a new report in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that about potential WrestleMania matches for Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, The Vision, Finn Balor, and more. Lesnar has the open challenge for WrestleMania, and fans believe that Obafemi will ultimately step up to face the Beast. Femi and Lesnar had that face-off at the Men's Royal Rumble matchup in January, generating massive buzz among the fans. With the WWE Universe firmly behind the idea of Lesnar versus Femi for Mania, Meltzer stated that this will be the most likely direction that the creative team will head toward. Commenting on Seth Rollins' WrestleMania plans, Meltzer noted that the Visionary will either face Braun Breaker or Logan Paul in Las Vegas. Breaker would undoubtedly be the preferred choice should he return in time for Mania, but if he fails to make it, then Logan Paul would replace Breaker as Seth Rollins' opponent. Seth notably cost Paul a potential Elimination Chamber victory last weekend. Meltzer further added that there have been discussions about putting the World Tag Team Championships on the Vision, and if Braun Breaker does return in time to face or Seth Rollins, then it would be Logan and Austin Theory going after the Usos in Vegas. The newsletter further states that the company also has plans to run Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio and Asuka versus Kairi Sane at the Show of Shows. So it seems that they're shaping up, but as far as the ticket sales for WrestleMania, according to the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, the numbers reflect little growth following WWE Elimination Chamber, with most of the demand expected closer to the event date. Night 1 of WrestleMania has approximately 36,735 tickets sold. That figure represents an increase of about 505 tickets compared to the previous week. Night 2 has 37,346 sold, and that is just an increase of 211. Both shows will take place at Allegiant Stadium, which is configured in it for a large capacity setup. Combined, the 2 nights currently account for more than 70,000 tickets sold across the weekend. Secondary markets remain relatively high, with entry-level listings reported at around $256 for night 1 and $268 for night 2. Meltzer also notes that the ESPN paid for the show and sponsorship revenue, WrestleMania 42 will end up generating more revenue than any show in history, including the Saudi Arabia shows. Historically, WrestleMania ticket sales often accelerate as the full match lineup becomes clearer. Major storyline announcements and confirmed headline matches typically drive the largest spikes in demand during the final promotional stretch. At this stage, WWE is shaping the card through weekly programming across Raw and SmackDown, and the company traditionally builds momentum in the final weeks leading up to WrestleMania using premium live events, storyline developments, and celebrity appearances to increase visibility. So, Josh, what do you think about those matches mentioned for WrestleMania 42 this year?
I mean, there's a lot of them that didn't sound like Mania matches to me.
It's that fun.
I mean, you know, like when I heard they're talking about having like 6 women's matches between like both shows, on hindsight it sounds good, but then it's like, are you just adding that just to add it? Like, Are we going to get something that's meaningful? Or is, that's why I kind of worry about, because it's like, yeah, we want more women's matches, but don't give me a women's match if you're just going to, throw it in there. And that's where it kind of sounds like, especially a lot of the changes that they made. Like you kind of don't know what direction they're going. Brock and Oba, that just seems like that's going to be the direction. And I've been very open and honest. I've been very open and honest that I don't want to see that match. But if it happens, it happens. Just because, the idea of Brock versus Seth makes no damn sense if you just promoted a open challenge aspect for Brock. So for him to go after Seth would just be, it would be pretty dumb in that aspect. But then also Seth already has gone over Brock a few times. It's like I kind of don't want to see that again. If that's part of the rewrites, oh well, if that's what we end up getting because of the rewrites, it is what it is. And you got Logan, what they said, Logan and Theory versus the Usos. I mean, who really wants to see that? I don't. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it just doesn't sound like it. Again, like if I was somebody like, hey, let me try to go to WrestleMania, this don't sound like a card that I'm dying to go to.
It doesn't. You want to spend your mortgage money on this? No.
Obviously they're gonna make it a big deal because it's Mania.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like even that shit don't sell. That shit don't sell me. Like if you're not giving me a premium card, then I'm not gonna bother to go. Like
people
I don't
use their rent money for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna rent money.
I'm like, let's just be honest. Like the economy right now, it is really, really hard. Groceries high, gas is now going up. Like we're in a war that we didn't even intend to be a part of, but here we are. And now you're saying that you're going to make tickets cheaper. They're $200 and something for nosebleeds in that big ass stadium does not sound appealing to me. I'm sorry.
No.
And you're not even mentioning the fact that I now have to fly there. You know how much a flight costs to go to Vegas? Round trip is like at least $7 and some change, if that. And that's a busy time right after spring break. Spring break is almost, I think that's the last week of spring break or whatnot. So that's that. Then you're talking about hotels. That's at least $1,500. For how many days you want to stay? You're going to go out there probably Thursday. I don't see anyone. I mean, you can go out there on Saturday, but you're giving the chances of like flight delays, weather, missing. They're not there. You don't know. You just don't know from wherever city or wherever country you're coming from.
Yeah.
So you add all of that up. That's someone's mortgage payment. That's someone's rent, probably. Rent is high in New York City, so let's just be honest on that one. That's probably someone's car payment. They probably got maybe outstanding tickets that they probably don't want to pay because they want to go to the show. I don't know. But you have to give into the fact that like these are the things that people are going through and they have to account for. I would love to go to a show, but is it worth the money and me financially thinking of like, should I spend all my money to go to this show? No, that too. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
you're absolutely
if you're
right.
overseas. Yeah, like I feel like I said, I think that the creative has not been its best, but like that is like the fifth or fourth reason why WWE's in this situation when it comes to the ticket sales. Like it has more to do with the increase in ticket price and basically WWE pricing out their most loyal fans. And it has to do with the tourism being down in Las Vegas and Las Vegas being one of the most expensive places to travel in the United States. You're doing Las Vegas the year after you just did it. So that's a law of diminishing returns as well there. And then it's all to do with the current state of the United States and the people that are overseas, which is a good percentage of the people that come out for a WrestleMania. Why would they want to come to the United States in the current state that it's in and everything going on in the world? So you have all those factors at play, and then you get to the creative, and it just looks like they are just scrapping things together at this point.
And who wants to see a scrap show together? Like, okay, we have 6 women, 3 on each night. That's amazing. That's actually like outstanding. I love that. But it's like, okay, what are we going to, how are we pulling this off? What women are we going to showcase? How are we going to prove this? What are you going to give them? Just 10 minutes? Okay. We get 2 10-minute matches for each night, and then you have the other matches for the you give them maybe like 15 minutes. They're not headlining, and I don't think they're going to open. And if they do, okay, God bless them.
Yeah. As far as like the matches, like Seth and Braun Breaker, that makes sense. If Braun's able to come back in time, it makes sense to put the Vision against the Usos, and the Usos and the Vision have been feuding for months, so that makes a lot of sense. It feels like if LA Knight's not facing Brock Lesnar, he might not make this show, which is a big, and he just did an interview where he said he's unaware of his direction for WrestleMania. So it sounds like he might not even make this show if he's not facing Brock Lesnar. So you do Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. There's what Chuck Berry's is saying here in the chat. If Brock is unwilling to put anyone, say like Oba over, then I really don't want to see his ass at WrestleMania. But like take into account, there's the rumor that Brock Lesnar might retire at SummerSlam. So do you think that WWE is going to want him to lose before that matchup? I don't know, because that could be a big money draw for them in Minnesota for SummerSlam. Is they could sell out that place. They're always thinking about money. What's going to sell the ticket? The next show. What's going to sell the ticket for this show? Can they put Brock Lesnar against someone else that he can beat to set up a bigger money matchup for SummerSlam? So it's all these factors that are in play that really, as fans, we really shouldn't be thinking about, but we have to think about because of how WWE is structured right now. We got a super chat donation here from Valub. Thank you so much, Valub, for the support. He says, honestly, down the line, we're also going to hear stories about Cody, Punk, and Roman playing politics hard during this new era every week. Yeah. There's gonna be stories of people that felt like they were held down by this 3-headed monster of Cody, Roman, and Punk, who have these egos that are just like, I don't think that Roman hides the fact that he has a big ego and that he does play a bit of politics, but you have two guys in Punk and Cody who want to have this good guy image and talk about helping others out, but they definitely have egos themselves that match Roman Reigns.
I agree.
So
this wouldn't have been a problem if they just would have went to New Orleans.
Probably not.
But even
I mean, they would still have the ticket problem because the tickets is going to still be priced high.
You literally just took the words out of my mouth, SP. Literally, they would have had more people willing to travel there, but as far as like buying a ticket to said show, they still would have an issue with the show. But you still get more tourism if you went to New Orleans because everyone loves New Orleans. Everyone, I think, is not it's a little bit cheaper than Vegas, but people go there all year round for the camaraderie of what you have in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's true.
So, yeah.
All right, let's talk about some social media drama because this week the drama was at an all-time high as Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill went head-to-head on social media. Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley are on a collision course after Ripley's WWE Elimination Chamber win. The two began their war of words on social media. Ripley won the matchup last Saturday. Following the win, Rhea Ripley retweeted a post from a fan who noted that Ripley is going to her 7th WrestleMania in a row in a title match, and she wrote, "Guess I'm that bitch." Cargill in turn retweeted Ripley's post and wrote, "No, boo, you were the second option. At me next time so I see it." Ripley then replied with clips of Cargill in past interviews, naming Ripley as someone she would like to compete against, including one where she says, "Well, one thing I know is to hold a streak and to go in and dominate. And I think Rhea Ripley is one of those people that I would love to go in." The feud continued going, and it went full meta as Cargill made insinuations that Ripley talks to creative and that the social media team to be kept on top. after Ripley said, and all you seem to do is talk. And that's literally it. Cargill replied, talk? Like the hours you spend talking to creative? Ripley fired back with, you're funny. That's funny. Now we know you really be talking out your ass because everything you say is bullshit. Don't spread lies on my name, you dumb bee. Things continued between them, and even Chelsea Green weighed in on Rhea Ripley by retweeting the original post that started it all, which noted that Ripley was wrestling in her 7th straight WrestleMania title match, and she wrote, Rhea is proof that you can be kind, respectful, and the most talented wrestler in the world. Cargill saw that and fired off at Green saying, it's no point to even go and embarrass you on this app. You always have something to say about everything. As things continued there, Piper Niven chimed in to defend Chelsea Green and take a shot at Jade Cargill, writing, who the fuck even said anything about you? Contrary to your belief, the world doesn't revolve around you. No point to even embarrass you on this app. Give you enough ring time and you'll do it yourself. Ripley took to her Instagram stories on Monday evening, and without mentioning Cargill, commented on the matter. She wrote on the Instagram story, not having fun, not friends, learn to work, and never lie to defame someone's real human character by breaking the fourth wall. Dave Meltzer addressed the matter on Thursday's Wrestling Observer Radio, revealing that the whole social media feud is a work. However, it's a work that appears to be playing off some of the WWE roster's genuine feelings and dislike towards Jade Cargill. Meltzer noted that WWE involved other wrestlers like Green and Nevin in the social media feud to make fans believe it's real. He said, and I quote, the funny part is that ever since that thing with Jade and Shayna Baszler from months and months ago, when I'm reading, I'm going, this is exactly what these people would say. I'm not saying the people who tweeted that were basically involved in the whole game. I will only say that those words have been said to me by there is a prevailing viewpoint there among other people and talent that this is the identical same thing that they've been talking about this whole time. He's referring to the situation that occurred between Cargill and former WWE superstar Shayna Baszler, which dates back to 2024 before Cargill's hiatus later in the year. It's rumored that Cargill got into an altercation and confronted Baszler backstage, with Baszler refusing to back down before things were eventually calmed down between the two wrestlers. It's also rumored that there was heat backstage on Cargill over how, when she makes mistakes would take place during her matches, she would reportedly shift the blame to other wrestlers and was allegedly rude over it. It's also rumored that Cargill told Baszler that she didn't know how to work, and it said that Cargill's comments didn't sit well with the rest of the WWE women's locker room. Meltzer said on the situation being a work, it's really interesting because it is a work, because again, like if it was real, they're not doing it. You know what I mean? Because like Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, they're not going to bury someone on their own team in public because they know you can't do this. It's not allowed, but they are using the thoughts of many people while doing this angle. Meltzer added they're trying to make it out like it's a shoot and they're really going to fight at this show. It's weird because when you do that on Twitter, I don't know, it's like it's just an attempt. It's an attempt to get some heat on the matchup. That's all. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer commented on the suggestions that the entire social media exchange was a shoot. He claimed that contrary to many belief, this was not a shoot, as WWE forbids such behavior by its talent. He claimed that this is just an attempt on the part of the creative team to promote the match differently. While he shot down the suggestions that this was a shoot, Meltzer did claim that the comments were made against Jade Cargill were in line with what several other female wrestlers have told him over the past year, especially since the Shayna Baszler incident. With Jade continuing to be pushed as a top talent, despite minimal improvement in her in-ring work or promos and her attitude of pinning the blame on her opponents, Meltzer claimed that this was created resentment among other female talents who feel they are better in the ring. Fightful Select spoke with several sources in the company, reporting that the belief that the back and forth began as a playful work, but took a more serious turn when Cargill made her comments about creative. Several sources in WWE were confused by the notion of bringing up creative as a way to continue the feud. However, WWE is said to genuinely be pleased about the buzz that came out of it, as well as the notion, real or not, that Ripley and Cargill genuinely dislike each other. No sources in WWE express a concern about how the two will work together. One source in creative pushed back on the notion that it was entirely a work, saying that we would never include a mention of creative as part of that. It undermines the point. Piper never mentioned in her shots about Jade Cargill taking vacations as well. This was a reference to the rumors that Cargill didn't want to work the holiday tour in 2024 due to a planned vacation. There were conflicting reports back when she was legitimately hurt that she was actually taking a vacation, but sources in WWE repeatedly stressed at the time that Cargill was actually hurt. Sources close to Cargill dismissed the online back and forth as not being a big deal, while others in the locker room believe that it was not a work, but that the two will work together fine. This is no indication that anyone has heat on them from the company for their tweets, nor any towards Jade Cargill for other reasons, despite some sketchy allegations suggesting otherwise. Whew, what a week. And then we got a very mild promo last night on SmackDown.
Yeah,
Krssi Love,
the lead up to it.
Krssi Love, what do you think? I know this is your first time hearing about everything that went down between Jade and Rhea. What's your reaction to it?
It was exciting at first, and then you guys told me don't even bother with the promo that happened yesterday, which really means like this is another snooze fest of a championship match that we're going to see not be executed very well, I feel like. Unless her and Rhea are in the back practicing and like trying to figure out moves and doing these things over and over to make one Jade look like she's doing something good, and then, you know, making it look like an effortless match. I don't see anything of this going to be really good or flawless at this point. It might get 2 stars.
Damn.
Josh.
And I hate to say that 'cause I like both ladies, but I'm just not trying. I'm not. If I don't have high expectations, I won't be let down. If you have high expectations, then you're going to be let down. I'm sorry.
I think that Rhea could get a good matchup out of Jade Cargill.
You think you can pull it out of her?
Because Jade Cargill does better against more powerful women. She had a decent matchup with Jordynne Grace a couple of weeks ago. Her best match ever was probably against Chris Statlander before she left AEW. And Chris Statlander's stature and wrestling-wise is very similar to Rhea Ripley. So I feel like Rhea Ripley, if anyone, can get a good to decent match out of Jade Cargill.
Okay, that's fair. Again, I like where you're going with this SP. But I'm not. I don't want to get my hopes up because then I don't want to be let down.
I also understand that.
So I pray that does happen. Like I hope that she gives her like one of her best matches. I mean, if anyone could do it, it is Rhea. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that part. Sandro bringing up that Rhea Ripley's husband, AEW star Buddy Matthews, reposted her Instagram story. So if it was a work, I don't think the guy from the other company would be involved in it, Dave.
Yep.
Josh, what did you think about all this stuff with Jade and Rhea?
I mean, it's 2 years in a row that you had 2 women go off script on something. You know, very unfortunate. Because obviously it was playful at first, but I think Jade needs to be in a position where this is kind of the second time that it's happened on social media. You probably need to have like a social media team to probably tell you what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. Because obviously the bantering back and forth started off friendly, but then again, it went off the rails once creative got brought up, which was like, you know, I thought it was very unnecessary just because at that point, now you're bringing it to a personal level. You know, you're trying to accuse somebody of politicking or doing stuff like that with Rhea, you know, and we've been saying for a long time about Rhea, her position in the company is high because the fans have been behind her, and that's why she's at where she's at. She's not politicking for nobody. She's not doing this. I've never heard of a story of Rhea like wanting to, no, I want the title now. Like, I've never heard any story of Rhea compared to like I've heard about Punk or heard about Cody. I've never heard any of that by Rhea, you know, so I don't think that's necessarily fair because obviously, you know, again, she's big because when she comes out, you see she gets bigger reactions than most of the men, you know, so it's one of those things where I do believe her hard work did get to where she was at, not the other way around. I don't think she cut corners or did this to get to where she's at. And I think that's part of the thing that kind of bothered me too, because it's like Jade is like talking all that shit, but it's like, Jade, sis, you didn't even do indies yourself. You got signed by AEW, and like, you want to talk about privilege, like you went straight to one of the big companies. Like, you know, and then because of that, you went to WWE, like, because of your physique, of how you look, and the potential star power that you had. You know, that's why they signed you. You know, so like her saying all that stuff was just like a little, it was definitely a little weird in that aspect. You know, because again, Rhea,
you in this bubble.
Yeah, so it was kind of just like I don't think that it was, the creative part wasn't necessary at all, because again, once you bring that up, it's like you're bringing an ugly side of people, and this is no different.
It clearly triggered Rhea as well.
Yeah, because it's like because you're basically questioning her, like, you know, where she was at. Like, you're basically questioning her spot in the company. Like, this is how you got. How did you get it? You got it because people, you know, because you're, you know, that's how it comes off. You're trying to accuse somebody of politicking or being where she's at. And Rhea, if you really want to go to Rhea Ripley, nobody has had to work harder than Rhea Ripley, if we're being honest. You know, going from another country to here, so where she started at in the women's Mae Young's Classic to where she's at now, nobody thought that was going to happen. So I could see where she took that personal, and I don't blame her for taking that personal, because it's like, you're taking my craft, you're taking my job, you're taking it, you know, obviously you're going to defend yourself because you know the work that you put in, you know. But I just think that Jade is in a position where a lot of people don't like her, and you're kind of seeing why a lot of people don't like her, you know, and it's not a good look. And, you know, it's one of those things where you could be a top star, but then it's like, once you start burning those bridges and you start crossing those paths, it's not going to go very well for you. And, you know, if she ends up losing the title, obviously people are going to think about that. People are going to think about like, oh, she probably lost because of what she did. That's not a good look. And I think that she probably just thought twice. You're going to have a friendly back and forth bantering, that's fine. But then once you get really personal like that, it's not always good in the wrestling business, people. Going personal, it's not always the best thing. You want realism, but it's like you're going too real at this point.
you worked yourself into a shoot, brother. That's all it came down to. Like, shouldn't have gone that far, brother. But hey, you live and you learn, I guess. You live and you learn. Hopefully she can learn from a situation like this. But couple of quick notes to fire off here. Danhausen, of course, signed with WWE and made his debut at Elimination Chamber, to not the best response from the fans, it seemed, but some news on his arrival in WWE came out during the week. His WWE career seemingly was off to a good start, though, otherwise. As according to PW Insider, the the company's officials are presently surprised with figures about his merchandise sales that he's generated so far since making his debut. Danhausen himself took to social media to reveal that his debut shirt is a top seller on WWE Shop. He urged fans to go buy his shirt or risk facing the same fate as Dirty Dom, who he cursed on Monday Night Raw. CM Punk reportedly played a key role to bringing Danhausen into WWE, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Punk spearheaded bringing Danhausen into WWE after his departure from All Elite Wrestling. They previously became friends during their time in AEW together. Before arriving in WWE, Danhausen's run in AEW was limited by injuries and shifting creative priorities. While he maintained a dedicated fan base, and securing consistent television time opportunities proved difficult. Tony Khan reportedly stopped using him due to a number of reasons, but extended his contract to keep him from leaving. Meltzer noted that there have been mixed reactions backstage so far, with some noting that he did get booed during his debut at Elimination Chamber, and as a result, his first segment on Raw featured a backstage promo rather than an in-ring segment, and to avoid a negative reaction. WWE was reportedly surprised at how well his merchandise is moving, so good news in that regards, despite all of that. Someone we haven't seen since their WWE someone we haven't seen since his WWE debut is Royce Keys. Keys has not been seen since his debut at the Royal Rumble. According to Body Slam's Patreon update, WWE have been using him for dark matches as a way for him to get some in-ring time while the creative team finalizes what his direction will be moving forward. It's also noted that WWE and Keys have filmed vignettes for him and is expected to begin airing soon. A source tells Body Slam that SmackDown is expected to be his roster, but an earlier Fightful Select report says that WWE had Keys filming things, but they haven't been seen on television as of yet. They have been promoting his appearance on Stephanie McMahon's podcast on WWE programming, but then it was reported on Tuesday that WWE didn't have creative plans for Royce Keys, and that doesn't appear to be the case. A report then came out that WWE had nothing for him, but the whole quote says nothing, big question mark, absolutely nothing. You know, we had speculated that SmackDown was the place for him. It certainly does still seem like that's going to be his home. I know he was backstage on Friday night, saw him having pictures, don't know when he's going to show up on television. Hopefully they have an idea. Hopefully this is part of the plan. Fightful Select reports that the quote was taken out of context and that the answer in response to a question about whether there was an update on Keys. In other words, they were saying that there's no update and not that WWE has nothing for him. Fightful Select followed up and was told that there have been things filmed for Keys, but we have yet to see them as of yet. It doesn't seem like they have much for Royce Keys.
They don't.
We're just hiring people's friends at this point. Danhausen.
They're hiring Cody and Punk fans. Punk friends. So.
Yep. Great stuff.
I mean, Danhausen's been showing up he showed up 3 times already in a week.
I guess Punk is a better politician than Cody. Sorry.
It's probably true.
Finally, there was unfortunately an injury on Friday Night SmackDown. Before Friday Night SmackDown last night, it appears that Jordynne Grace suffered an injury in a matchup that was filmed on WWE Main Event yesterday, as she was in a matchup and suffered an apparent knee injury. PW Insider reports that she was facing Alba Fire and suffered a possible knee injury. Video featured Grace down in the ring before being attended to by WWE officials. She posted on social media a picture of her in Chelsea Green's wheelchair and said, well, at least there was a wheelchair waiting. WWE has not yet confirmed whether Grace is injured seriously or not, and Grace last competed on last week's SmackDown against Candice LeRae. On behalf of all of us at THH, our best wishes to Grace, regardless of whether the injury is serious or not. But got to talk about the C-level WWE shows, Josh, your favorite time of the show. We got AAA on Fox. The show featured El Grande Americanos kicking off the show to call out the original El Grande Americano, who was interviewed backstage by interviewer Pimpinella Escalada, but OG El Grande attacked them and put them out of the Reina de Reyes qualifier. They were replaced by the other El Grande Americano, who actually picked up the win over Ethan Page, Omos, and Elio D. Dr. Wagner Jr. in a very good four-way to advance to Reina de Reyes on March 14th. Dragon Lee beat Jack Cartwheel in an awesome opener to the show to become the new #1 contender for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. Post-match, TJ Perkins came out to stake his claim for the title, only to be attacked by Laredo Kid. This led to an all-three-men brawling until Jack Cartwheel actually got the better of them and stood tall. Then over on TNA IMPACT on Thursday night, the show featured Mike Santana. He had a promo to end the show, wanting TNA to reinstate Steve Maclin after what he did to Tom Hannafin. This led to Daria Ray coming out to tell Santana that he doesn't control what the company does, until Santino came out to announce that he actually is reinstating Maclin and has a date planned for their matchup on March 27th at TNA Sacrifice. Yes, Maclin got fired and got a TNA World Championship match out of all of it. Great storytelling. Ariana Grace picked up a win. Oh, the birthday girl's here.
Hi. Happy birthday.
To me. Say happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Home. How old are you today?
Happy birthday.
Oh my God, you're 6 years old? That is so cool. What did you do today? Yay! Did you have cake?
I'm 6. I got cake.
You did. You got 2 cakes.
I said, did you have cake? So that's why she answered that. Did you get cake? I got 2 cakes.
Yeah. She got one for her, one for her brother, but she ate some of her brother's cake too.
I'm just glad she ran in for that TNA stupidity. Man. How do you reinstate somebody who was fired?
Ask Road Dogg. He got his job like 3 times.
There you go. See, there you go. It was all a bit. It was all a bit to
you get a title shot. You're fired. Oh, wait, we'll bring you back. You get a title shot.
Hey, someone else that doesn't work in TNA is the TNA Knockouts World Champion Ariana Grace retained against Jody Thread. The Elegance brand cut a promo and talked into Cass from Mama June until ODB made her return to attack them and stood tall against the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions alongside the Mama June.
Mama June?
Yes, Mama June. Yes.
Oh my God! Wow.
They poured meat grease on Elegance brand.
Ew.
They sure know how to get people like 15 years after they were actually popular.
That's the brand of TNA.
True.
Right on brand.
Frankie Kazarian had the King speech with Elijah, which led to AJ Francis attacking Hometown Man during the segment. The Systems, Brian Myers and Barrett Bronson beat Rich Swann and BDE, Sinner and Saint, and The Righteous to become the #1 contenders for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Elena Black scored a victory over Mara Sade, while Leon Slater picked up arguably his biggest win in a good main event against Nick Nemeth to retain the TNA X Division Championship. Post-match, he was attacked by Eric Young to continue their rivalry. Then on Wednesday, we had WWE Evolve Secession 2, which had Jackson Drake scoring a victory over Cappuccino Jones in a stellar main event to retain the WWE Evolve Men's Championship. Post-match, Harlem Lewis came out to attack the Vanity Project and stood tall to send a message. He also picked up a win over Brooks Jensen in the opener, and Kendall Gray retained the WWE Evolve Women's Championship in a fun street fight against PJ Vasa. Finally, you had WWE NXT. They did 604,000 viewers. Miles Bourne kicked off the show this week after his NXT North American Championship win. He got confronted by the former champion Ethan Page. This led to Robert Stone coming out to make the match official for Right Here, Right Now, with Bourne picking up a win over Page to retain the NXT North American Championship. Ren Sinclair scored a victory in singles competition over for Nikita Lyons to advance in the WWE Speed Women's Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. Jada Parker and Blake Monroe had a face-to-face to set up their matchup for Vengeance Day, which led to a brawl right then. And then later on in the show to set up a street fight for the event. You had Hank and Tank and Shiloh Hill picked up a victory over the Vanity Project in a fun trios matchup, while JC Jane and Zarya went to a no contest for the NXT Women's Championship after Sol Ruka came out and attacked both women. You also had Tony D confront Dion Lennox to set up their matchup for Vengeance Day. And in a very polarizing segment, Ricky Saints had his own concert called the Ricky Saints Experience until Joe Hendry interrupted to go after Saints. The Vanity Project came down to attack Hendry, but Miles Bourne actually made the save as the two champions fought off Saints and Vanity Project to stand tall to end the show. Josh, I hear that you weren't pleased with the whole segment that ended NXT.
Please? That's an understatement. Because, man, that is by far the worst thing Ricky Starks has ever done in his career. By far, the worst fucking thing he's ever done. Anything that's wrestling related, anything that's promo related, this was by far the worst fucking thing that he did. And the fact that he decided to lower himself to this standard is very disappointing. This is a man that's supposed to be proving himself. And then guess what? You just proved Adam Copeland right by doing all this dumb shit. Fucking idiot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't say you're wrong. I can't say you're wrong at all. Can't say you're wrong. This was not a good segment. WWE was taking some of the clips down. They kept some of the clips up, but they took some of the clips down from the segment. But yeah, it just didn't hit. That's an understatement, but I'll just leave it at that. It just didn't hit that well. It was a decision. It was a decision.
A fucking bad decision. That's what the fuck that was.
Yeah. A bad one, an ill-advised one, but that's basically what NXT is all about. NXT, TNA, that's why we talk about them all in one segment, run down everything.
Run it down real quickly.
But,
that's it.
Yeah, exactly. But there was news from TNA that we got to bring up as Mance Warner and Steph DeLander have left the company. They decided to quit this week. They made the decision in a new report from Fightful Select. Fightful Select reports that Warner and DeLander have both decided to quit the company. The couple are married, and according to the outlet, the decision to leave came from the fact that TNA will not clear DeLander to return to the ring. DeLander announced in September 2024 that she was indefinitely out of action due to a neck injury. She hasn't worked a matchup since May of that year. She posted to Twitter in January to note that she was cleared by her surgeon and tagged WWE, TNA, and AEW, writing, "My neck is 100% healed, and I have been cleared by a surgeon to return to the ring. I need guidance from a medical professional to ensure safety so I can get back to doing what I love. I have asked so many times, so can anyone help me? At This Is TNA, at WWE, and at AEW." The report from Fightful says that DeLander was told she would never be able to wrestle again in TNA, although she went to WWE spinal surgeon to try and get cleared. One source in TNA said that they believe the two could finish up after their current run of tapings. TNA has not responded to requests for comment at this time, and DeLander made her debut for TNA in February of 2023, while Warner made his debut in January of last year. So another key loss for TNA, and this one comes with a lot of controversy. And DeLander actually did an interview with TMZ where she revealed that when she asked Carlos Silver how she got the injury, he did not know.
What?
Yeah. What do you think, Josh?
Just a face emoji like this. What? What is it?
What do you think about this situation with Mance and DeLander leaving the company, Josh?
Well, I mean, at least I'm justified. for putting this man number 2 on my bum 15. Because, man, how do you not know none of this shit? How do you not know one of your talents had a major injury and you had no clue of what it was? And then you can't give no fucking answers. This is the man that we're supposed to believe got them a TV deal on his own. Right? We're supposed to believe this, right? Every time he shows up on TV with his stupid, goofy fucking hat, with his stupid glasses, right? We're supposed to believe that, right? We're supposed to believe that he cares, right? We're supposed to believe that he's not getting cucked, right? This man is a fucking idiot. Like, why does he have a job? Especially an executive job. How does he have this job? Like, who did he bribe? Like, who does he have dirt on for somebody that he has this job and you can't know shit like this? This is so fucking incompetent. And the fact that TNA themselves have no fucking answers of, hey, let's get you to somebody that could clear you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has to do it on her own. This poor girl has to do it on her own. And she even went to a WWE doctor that said that she was good. What does that tell you? What does that fucking tell you? Like, we're supposed to believe that this is new TNA. Like, oh my God, we got a TV fucking deal, right?
Brand new TNA.
Be different. And it's got worse. How did you get worse? I don't understand it. I don't. It's fucking bum. Like, this is why he's a fucking bum. He's a like, man, he has such a fucking punchable face. Like, if I really wanted to go to jail, I'll punch him in his face. Like, I'll punch him in his face. Like, this is so incompetent. Like, honestly, like if I was a real motherfucker and I didn't give a shit, like, I'll take the risk and I'll punch him in his face. Like, I'm sick of this man. I'm sick of him. Like, tell us
how you really feel, Josh.
Right? I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Adam Pearce, I got my beef with Adam Pearce, but at least he's an on-screen character. This man's doing shit in real life that's stupid.
Yeah. This is true. This is so true. I don't. There's no excuse for him not knowing how she got injured and just playing dumb, playing coy with all that shit. Yeah, it's embarrassing. We do have a couple of super chat donations before we get into Krssi Love's favorite time. We got Chuck Berries with the super chat donation saying, ever since they took the women's championship off of Bayley, this belt has been cursed every WrestleMania season, which has only been 2, but still, thanks Triple H for nothing, SMH. I always appreciate Chuck Berry's loyalty to Bayley. He always has to mention Bayley in some way. Thank you, Chuck Berries, for the super chat donation. But you're also not wrong. So, also true. We also got Chuck Berries with another super chat donation. Thank you so much for the birthday love. He says a little birthday money for the kids. Appreciate you for that. Thank you so much for that. We also got Call Me Mr. Bonda with another super chat donation for us saying Happy Harlem Day with the birthday emojis and birthday cake emoji. I know she will appreciate that. I'll show her that later on in the day. And Call Me Mr. Bonda has actually been a member of the channel for 14 months. Thank you so much, Mr. Bonda, for all the support you've given us over the last year as a member and since you joined us in the Tru Heel Heat community. But it is time for Krssi Love's favorite time of the show. What time is it, Miss Krssi Love?
It's TikTok time.
It is TikTok time. And after last week, where we did our all-time Black wrestlers fantasy draft, this week we're doing a current women's wrestlers fantasy draft. So we're only picking current active women's wrestlers. It could be from WWE, AEW, Stardom, TNA, all across the world, in Mexico, Japan. It could be from overseas. Anyone you want to pick. We're limiting the number here. We're only going to pick 6 wrestlers each since it's a 3-way contest. We're picking 6 wrestlers each. We all get we get 6 picks. We can't pick any tag teams. It's singles women's wrestlers, individual women's wrestlers. So no groups, no tag teams. And of course, you guys in the chat, you're going to decide who wins this fantasy draft. Krssi Love, as our reigning fantasy draft champion, you're going to go first. You got 2 minutes on the clock.
Oh, I don't need my 2 minutes because I already know who I'm picking. But okay. I'm going to pick Rhea Ripley.
So with the first overall pick, Miss Krssi Love is picking Rhea Ripley. Josh, since I lost last week, I'll go last. So you go next.
Damn. All right. I got my first pick already. I'm gonna go with Timeless Toni Storm.
Ooh, good one.
Picking all the Aussies. All the Aussies are off the board, including one of my favorite wrestlers, Timeless Toni Storm. So Chrissy's got Rhea. Josh has Timeless Toni Storm. You guys have to remember who you're picking here because you got to run down your list for the chat afterwards. All right. So with my first overall pick, and it's a snake draft. We're going snake draft style. So I get back-to-back picks here.
Oh, you see, he's slick. You see, that's why he did it.
Thank you. With snake draft style, so I will pick first with my first overall pick. I'm picking Mercedes Moné.
Okay.
Mercedes Moné. And with my second overall pick, I am picking Io Sky. Io Sky and Mercedes Moné. Those are my first two picks for our women's fantasy draft. Krssi, no, Josh, you're up next.
Josh is next. I'm last.
Yeah. All right. So this person counter Mercedes. My second overall pick is going to be Persephone.
I like what you did there. You think you slick. All right. So Josh with his second pick, picking Persephone. Krssi Love, you get back-to-back picks here.
With my second pick, that we need JJ with the music for the drafts, but whatever. For my second pick, I am going to pick Willow Nightingale.
Ooh, that was on my short list. Good shout. Good shout there. All right, so you got Willow Nightingale, and who is your next pick?
My second pick is going to be, my third pick. Sorry, my third pick is going to be Bianca Belair.
Should we count her as active?
Oh, you're right. She's not active though.
Yeah, okay, she's not active.
No. Fuck. Okay,
Josh was trying to help you too.
I know. That's fine. Whatever. I would say as my third pick, I am going to pick Chris Statlander.
Ooh, good one. Good pick there. Josh, you're up.
My third pick is going to be Athena.
Damn it.
Yep.
She was on my list.
On my short list too. All right. So with my third overall pick, I'm picking the World of Stardom champion, Saya Kamatani.
Damn.
And then my next pick. All right. Let me go with Stephanie Vicaire. Josh, you're up.
So this is what, my fourth pick, right?
Yeah.
My fourth pick, I'll go with the current AEW Women's Champion, Tucker.
Damn it. That was my next one. I had.
She's like, damn it! God damn! I should have pulled the trigger earlier.
But it's okay.
All right, Krssi Love, you got back-to-back picks now.
For my fourth pick, I hope I get her name right. Damn it! You said I got 2 minutes, right? Okay.
Yeah, you got 2 minutes. You could think about it.
This is hard now. Damn.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty. This is the last.
I know.
Two, right? No. You got three more. You got three more. You get two back to back, and then you get a final one, don't you?
This is 4th, and then I get the next one, which is 5. I would say.
Yeah. Then you got the 6 on the last round.
Oh, 6. Right. I forgot. I thought it was 5.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Right. You're right.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm gonna go Megan Bayne.
Damn it! I was fucking gonna pick her next. Damn it! All right. Shit. All right. You got back to back. So go again.
Okay. For my 5th pick, I'm going to go. Jada Parker.
Okay.
I need that young blood. I need that the younger generation to help, push these girls. So yeah, I'm gonna go Jada Parker.
That is fair. All right, Josh, you're up.
I'm still you know what? I'm gonna go into Japan. I'm going to pick Mayu Iwatani.
Ooh, damn. You stay picking who I want to pick next. God damn. My draft order here. Gotta look at the availability here. All right. It's time to pull out my ace in the hole. 5th overall pick, picking the greatest women's wrestler of all time. It's not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated says it. Bleacher Report says it. I'm going with Becky Lynch. 5th overall pick. All right. So, and then 6. Ooh. All right. I got to think about this for a second here. So you got Statlander. You already took Willow off the board.
You want me to tell you my list?
No. I know. Like the main people that is off the board that I would want. Might have to go over to Stardom or oh, I'm picking Big Hash, Shishihiro Hashimoto. Picking Big Hash for this one. I need a monster. I need a monster among these ladies to beat the crap out of them, make them stronger. So I'm picking Big Hash for my next pick here.
Okay.
Y'all didn't leave me with much, but I'm picking Big Hash. All right. So final pick for Josh and Krssi here.
Josh.
Oh, it's my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is my last pick, right?
Yeah, your last pick.
Trying to think. This one's kind of harder. I'm like, fuck. Trying to think. Number 6. I got 2 minutes, right? Well, now
you
less.
got 2 minutes. You can think it over. You can do out loud thinking as well because Krssi Love is the only person who has to pick. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think this person's still available, right? Suri.
Oh yes. Fuck, I didn't think of that.
That's my 6th pick. That's my 6th pick.
That's who you're picking?
Yep, that's my 6th pick.
It locked in?
Locked in.
All right. It's like just making sure. You're locked in? Okay. All right. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Sounds good. Damn you. All right. Who you got? Who you got, Miss Krssi Love, your last pick?
This is hard, but I think to balance out my crew of people, I think I should get someone from Stardom to balance out my girls. Did anyone get Saray?
Oh no one got Saray.
I'll take Saray then.
Great shout, great pick. That's a great pick
Thank
right
you.
there. Smart one. You guys were prepared. I shouldn't have ever told y'all we were doing this today.
I would have like honorable mention. I would have had like Queen Aminata or like who else was I gonna pick? Thunder Rosa. That was my other one. It was either one of those. Yeah.
That seems
So
fair.
it would have did 10.
All right.
You know.
All right, so let me see. We got some comments in the chat. People were trying to help us here. We got yeah. We have here. Oh, we got Chuck Berries who says Scorch Earth. Josh over here is bringing it. We said fire. I think that was more about your promo on this guy. We got 107 Cardinals says SP already won. We got Call Me Mr. Bonda saying Stephanie Vicaire. We got a Megan Bain shout out. Sol Ruka shout out in the chat. Azumi was on my short list. So yeah. Oh Nutty who mentioned Saray. And so all right, we're gonna run down our lineup. You guys in the chat just put one of our names. You just put Josh, Krssi, SP3. Whoever you think has the best unit, the best team here. Krssi Love, you'll go first. Let the people know who you got.
Who's on my list? I have Rhea Ripley. I have Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Megan Bain, Jada Parker, and to round it out all the way for my 6, I have Saray.
All right, Josh, who you got on your team?
On my team, it was Timeless Tony, Stephanie, Athena, Tekla, Mayu, and Shuri.
And I have Mercedes Moné, Io Sky, Saya Kamatani, Stephanie Vicaire, Becky Lynch, and Big Hash, Shishihiro Hashimoto. So let us know in the chat who you think won our fantasy draft here this week. How did you like that fantasy draft in comparison to last week, Miss Krssi Love?
Oh, this was fun. I like this one, and I had to do it. I didn't have any help with nobody, so this was cool. This shows me I can do it.
It was down to your own devices this time.
Correct. I picked all the girls that have assets, like great assets.
Wait, I thought you were saying you picked the girls with the best asses.
Oh, that's what I was about to say.
Assets.
She's like, I said what I said. Oh man, we got Josh. What about you? You had to be on the sidelines more last week. How was it this week in the fantasy draft?
It was more fun, to be honest, because I remember the one that we did months ago, like the what was it, the matchup? Like that one I had to like study more. This one it was kind of like all right, I think I'm gonna wink this one. I'm just gonna go with who I think is gonna be available. So I actually asked more where it's like you're not overthinking, you're not thinking too much.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, it is fun when you're down to your own devices and just have to like figure it out, and then people mess up your draft order who you wanted to pick by picking before you and stuff. Yep. So it's always fun. It's different than when you have to talk it over as a team. It's much different that way.
It definitely is.
All right, guys, keep commenting in the chat. We're going to start running down and see what you guys think who won this week's fantasy draft. We got 1 vote for Josh from Christopher. We got Michael Allen Lewis, who gives it to me. We got Gordon Winfalls, who says Krssi, a.k.a. the Bakery Team. We got Alexis Bliss Gamer who says SP3, so 2 votes for me. We got 1 for Josh, so Josh got 2 votes as well. We got Call Me Mr. Bondo, who gives me my 3rd vote. We got King Davion, who gives me my 4th vote. We got another vote for Josh. We got Chuck Berry says I'm taking Krssi squad because I love me some Willow. So 2 votes for Krssi. We got Mr. Towns who gives me another vote. We got King Greg who says I see the vision of Team Krssi. They agree with your visionary standpoint. They understand what you are going for, Krssi. You guys are all perverts. We have a perverted community. That's what I think. I think you guys are all. I mean,
it's smart. She played it smart because she knows there's a bunch of gooners. So
this is true. Yeah, she was playing to the dynamic of. Oh yeah, she was playing to the dynamic that was presented to her. I respect it a lot. All right, so it seems like I get
you won
this week. I got the win this week. I will take it. Thank you guys. I needed to redeem myself after last week, so I appreciate y'all in the chat for coming through for me. All right, but we got to head over to AEW from Saturday all the way through AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. You had AEW Collision last Saturday. The show featured MJF and Kevin Knight kicking off the show with a promo exchange that set up the AEW World Championship match on this week's Dynamite after the Jet taunted MJF to basically goat him into a title match. You had the Death Riders picked up a 8-man tag victory over the Don Callis Family. Post-match, Konosuke Takeshita and Jon Moxley got into an intense brawl with one another to hype up Revolution. You had Tommaso Ciampa getting another win as he defeated Jay Lethal. You had Timeless Tony Storm got a win over Zeta Steel. And post-match, she got into a brawl with Marina Shafir, which led to her unmasking or unbalding Wheeler Yuta by taking off his hat and stealing it away from him. You had Proto Kata beat the Top Flight in tag team action. Post-match, it was the Jet Speed who came out to stake their claim for the TNT and international titles. And then they said that they will defend the AEW World Trios Championships against Proto Kata and another member of the Don Callis family anytime, any place. More on that in a bit. Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa defeated Sisters of Sin in tag team action. Post-match, Tekla came out to taunt both women. And finally, Andrade El Idolo defeated Tomohiro Ishii in a great main event to the show. Post-match, you had Bandito came out to confront Andrade, which set up their matchup for Revolution coming up a week from this Sunday. So coming up very soon here. Then that led into AEW Dynamite this week, which featured a great opener to the show as MJF defeated Kevin the Jet Knight in an excellent opener to retain the AEW World Championship. Post-match, you had MJF looking to knock out the Jet with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but Hangman Adam Page came out for a distraction, which led to Speedball Mike Bailey coming in to kick MJF and stand tall with the Jet. This led to a show-long narrative, which saw Hangman Adam Page pick up a victory against Marty Snow. Had to be a rib. I'm telling you, I had to be a rib. I don't care what anybody tells me. After that, he called out MJF to try to punch him with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but Max came out and caused a distraction as the Don Callis families, Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis jumped Hangman. This led to Jet Speed coming out for the save, but Don Callis came out and revealed that he spoke to Tony Khan and set up a trio championship matchup for later in the show, which saw Davis and Proto Kata beat Jet Set Road in a straight up banger to win the trios titles, thanks to outside interference from Maxwell Jacob Freeman, who knocked out Hangman on the outside, which led to new champions being crowned, as Fletcher and Okada are now double champions in AEW. The Brawling Birds picked up a win over the debuting Inspiration in less than 2 minutes.
That was sad.
It wasn't sad. It was hilarious. John Moxley defeated Hechicero in a damn good AEW Continental Title Eliminator matchup. Post-match, Kazuchika Konosuke Takeshita came out to stare down with Mox. You had Swerve Strickland sent a message to Brody King by hanging him over the rope to set up their matchup for Revolution, while Tekla scored a victory over Thunder Rosa to retain the AEW Women's World Championship in a good matchup. Post-match, Chris Statlander came out to make the save for Rosa, and Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin picked up a win over Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors of the Dogs in another good matchup on the show. But everybody was talking about the post-match as David Finlay made his debut by attacking Orange and Darby with the shillelagh to stand tall with the Dogs. It was then revealed that the Dogs officially were now #all elite. But Krssi Love, what did you think about this week's Dynamite or last Saturday's Collision?
Both shows were great, actually. AEW has a formula that they have been sticking to. I mean, I don't know if their ratings are showing it, but I am enjoying their weekly shows consistently.
Yeah, I mean, they did 600 and what did they do this week? They did 650. So they're up from last week for this week's Dynamite. It's been consistently over 600, and they've beaten NXT in the ratings the last 2 weeks.
I mean, the product is like, there's no brand of that. This is an NXT. Come on.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Like, you know, the people on NXT are great, but good, but this is like a different like league of like wrestling. Yeah. And what's the name of now? Double champions. Now the
Protocada.
Y'all really trying to make Takeshita really like shit and like kill all of y'all. Y'all really trying to like keep poking the bear.
Keep playing with this man, yo. Like he got a title, and then they had to win another title to just make him look.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Playing too many games with him. Too many games. Josh, what did you think about Dynamite this week?
Dynamite was good. You know, MJF and Kevin Knight was really great. Great opening match. I think Dave even gave that 4.5 stars. And I think that those guys could even do even more. That's what makes it kind of crazy. You know, and this was a guy, Kevin Knight, that they wanted to put a development to, right? Not the only guy that showed up that they wanted to put a development. And that guy was David Finlay. I was shocked to see him. And I remember I stepped away and I hear like one of these reaction, right? And I was just like, what's going on? Right? And she's like, and then she tells me to look. And then when I look, it was David Finlay. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit. I was like, they actually signed him. Mm-hmm. And then I found out they signed all 3. I was like, wait, Gay Kid too? I was like, wait, what? I was like, what the fuck was this? I knew Connors was a thing. I knew Connors they signed. Yeah, they signed already. But I didn't know Gabe Kidd was in play at all. I had no idea. I think that was what I was more shocked about. But David Finlay, just because of obviously the rumors, him being linked to WWE, I really thought he was WWE bound. And the fact that he just the fact that he just said he's like, I'm choosing AEW instead. It's like, it's kind of telling of where everything is at now. You know, but good for him. You know, it was good to see him. It's good that they're sticking together. The War Dogs are sticking together. And I think they could do some great things. Like if they really push them right, all 3 guys, they could, I mean, even singles wise, like I think Kid could carry his own single wise. Connors is very underrated in my opinion. He's, you know, I remember a couple years ago in Forbidden Door, he had a great performance and nobody expected it. You know, and then you get David Finlay to just top it off because you didn't expect to get him. So the fact that you got all three at once, that was insane. To me, that was like, damn, like that's crazy. And then, the main event, I was kind of surprised with that too. Like they booked it the same night, and then,
and that's so rare in AEW. They very rarely do that. Like that's why I think Jimmy was like higher on this show than the last couple of shows, because it actually had a show long narrative that we usually don't see from AEW.
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of a nice move where it was like, instead of like trying to push it for next week and promote the show, which I understand why companies do that. Like, sometimes you gotta continue it. But the fact that they did it within that show, but the fact that AEW, that was something different, and and it ended up working out because I thought the right team won, because obviously the whole projective was to get the titles off of them. Because again, jet speed, this wasn't planned. It was only the reason only happened because Hobbs was leaving, so they had to put it on somebody. And so the fact they were able to get it off, and then I thought they gave it to the better team. Don Callis Family has more belts, and then you have Kyle and you have Okada paired up, and then he even gave Mark Davis a belt. Mark Davis, like, he's worked hard, and then he's back with his tag team partner in Aussie Open. He's back with his tag team partner. So it was like, I thought it was a nice move. Like I had no problems with it, and it also adds to the story within the Don Callis family, because obviously, like you guys said, it's going to piss off Takeshi no more. That Kyle is basically paired up with Okada, and they have titles together now. So, overall, I thought it was a good episode.
Fletcher cheating on his boyfriend on national TV. That's crazy. The audacity. The audacity, man. The audacity of this man. The audacity, yo. Like the unmitigated gall of this guy to cheat on Takeshita. Beautiful Takeshita. He's just trying to make the most of life, and he's just getting cheated on national TV. That's crazy. Disappointed. What did you think about Finlay's arrival in AEW, Krssi Love?
Shocking at first. I mean, I knew they were a part of a whole faction, but now you have all three of them there. And listen, good for them. Hopefully they don't, nothing happens. They don't get cursed, and they can do some good justice over there.
Well, Danhausen doesn't work here anymore, so they can't get cursed.
Isn't that crazy though? Like they legit made like a big haul move. Like you're talking about, like, hey, we'll get Andrade, we'll get Ciampa, we'll get the War Dogs, and you guys could get Danhausen. Like that's
Danhausen
crazy.
And Hobbs. That is like the worst.
Yeah. That trade is like what?
In hindsight, that trade didn't work out too well for those boys in Florida. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what they were smoking on, but they got the short end on the stick on that one. So, but let's talk more about the key acquisition that was David Finlay coming to All Elite Wrestling. That is the big news from this week for AEW, and really it's about David Finlay choosing AEW over WWE. The Dogs are officially #All Elite, and a new report has some details on the signings of David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors. As we saw, David Finlay made his debut and aligned with his former War Dog stablemates. Fightful Select had some new details on the contracts for the three. The report confirms that all three are under contract and that Finlay signed a multi-year deal with the company. Sources indicated that the deal for Finlay came together in the last week. Finlay had been reported at the start of the year as wanting to explore free agency and was hoping to work more in the United States. Finlay had some contact with WWE, but obviously decided to go elsewhere. The group will, as noted, be known as the Dogs, as a reference to their Bullet Club War Dogs stable from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Finlay was the leader of the War Dogs, which included Kid Connors, Drilla Maloney, Gato, Oscar, Robbie X, Taiji Ishimori, and Yuto Ice. The group disbanded and merged with the unaffiliated to become Unbound Company in January. It had been previously reported that Finlay had some contact with WWE once he became a free agent after his New Japan contract expired. Body Slam Plus reports that, according to sources in WWE, Finlay was offered a deal that would have seen him start off in NXT. WWE refused to budge on the offer, and Finlay ended up going with AEW as a result. The Dogs name was as noted about the War Dogs, but they have now abbreviated to just the Dogs. Initial reports had it that Finlay would be heading to WWE, and WWE wanted him to go to NXT, but they refused to budge on the deal. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer added more context to this. It seems that the biggest factor was Finlay recently having a child and wanting to do less overseas work. Meltzer added that had he signed with WWE, a potential NXT run would have put him in the second generation stable being built there, which includes his brother Uriah Connors, Brian Pillman's son Lexis King, and Santino Marella's daughter Ariana Grace. Instead, he stuck with the War Dogs buddies with whom he already has natural chemistry with. Meltzer points out that there is more of a danger of him getting lost in AEW's large roster at this point, but that might also allow him to see his kid more. If he turns out to be more of a respected workhorse than a steady main eventer, well, that's a family tradition. Wrestling Observer newsletter claimed that Finlay was in talks with WWE, AEW, and TNA, but Fightful Select reports in their latest weekly debunkathon that despite reports suggesting otherwise, Finlay did not have any discussions with TNA Wrestling before he signed with AEW. As for Connors, the report states that he is officially signed by AEW a couple of weeks ago, and there's no word on exactly when Kid signed his AEW deal. So, man, this is going to teach WWE, stop lowballing these dudes. Like, why are you lowballing someone who has ties to WWE? His father works at the Performance Center. His brother is on the NXT roster. Why are you lowballing this guy? He should be making, if he was going to be in NXT, he should be at least making what the highest paid NXT guys was making. He was a top guy in New Japan, over in Japan, which is a tougher environment than NXT right now. And he would have bolstered your men's division that really needed names like David Finlay at this point. What do you think about WWE lowballing David Finlay?
Typical. No matter what this guy is given and how he is a star, they want bigger names and bigger guys. They like big guys. They're here for aha moments, not like giving good wrestling matches. So that's why Homeboy did what he did, and I commend him for it. Because it's typical WWE. They're gonna lowball him and say, "Oh, you can just take this. You're part of this big company. We're ready for you. You haven't even seen Hobbs yet."
Nope.
But hey, have fun at it.
We still waiting on Hobbs at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Man, crazy, insane. What do you think about David Finlay choosing AEW over WWE NXT and WWE apparently lowballing Finlay in negotiations, Josh?
It's like I'm surprised but not surprised at the same time, because I thought, you know, when you have somebody like Finlay, you know, obviously he has family there, so you would think like, all right, you know, maybe he gets a nice offer, he could work with his family. You know, you kind of understand that, but the fact that apparently the offer wasn't appealing, I thought that was a little bit more surprising in that aspect. And the fact that, and remember, me and you've been saying it for like the last 2 weeks, where I was like, yeah, I think he's either re-signing with Japan or going to AEW, because the fact that they said they were in contact and then they had no contact, that kind of told me, yeah, they're probably not signing it. That kind of was like the dead giveaway for me, because you just don't go radio silent. Like, hey, we reached out and then nothing. So that I mean, it is surprising on that aspect. It's surprising because, again, all the signs kind of pointed to WWE, but you know, at the end of the day, money, situations, you know, they speak volumes, and they still do.
It's so true, man. Like money, especially if you have a kid. If there's kids involved, you're gonna go where the money is safer. It's a safer bet. It's guaranteed your family. Money.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna be on you're gonna be on national TV and not like the third brand or what's considered like a developmental brand like NXT. And and he gets to see his kid more. He doesn't have to work outside of the Performance Center where they are trying to like train you with other kind of like I'm not gonna say like people that are underneath you, but he's way more experienced than anyone that's probably training in the performance center right now. Like, no offense to former football player number 7 that's working in the performance center right now. Like, David Finlay's been doing this and training in the New Japan dojo since 2015. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but then also the aspect of him, they said they want him not only NXT but in that faction. You had the option to choose that faction over your boys. You're gonna probably choose your boys because that's a stronger kind of aspect you go further with. Like,
it's a stronger foundation because you've already built something.
Yeah, and but you also know what you're getting out of those two guys. Like, you know what you're getting. With NXT, you gotta, you're gonna be with your brother, but then it's like paired up with Alexis King, who hasn't his bar has not moved at all. Like, he's just there, So it's like you're gonna be paired up with that, So on hindsight, he probably made the best decision for himself. He's getting more money. He's probably gonna get better quality matches. As far as like when people say, "Oh, Mick Carter this or Mick Carter that," we don't know. And if it is,
like the report said, that's what his dad did. His dad was like one of the most steady and reliable mid-carders in WCW and in WWE. So there's just a family tradition if he just winds up being a solid, steady workhorse mid-carder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then also it's just like, if you're getting paid and then you got the schedule that you wanted, and who cares where you go? Like, it's your decision. And it's like when people go to WWE, it's like we got to respect it. We might not like it, but it's like they chose that situation for a reason, So he chose AEW for a reason, and I'm excited to see what he brings, because again, this is the guy that I had zero expectations of him going to AEW, and now he's there. So it's like, oh shit, not what we're gonna get.
Exactly. Anything can happen after that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll keep you posted on any other news concerning David Finlay in the weeks to come. But we have other AEW news, an update on the WBD Paramount situation. Paramount, of course, won the bidding war for WBD. We talked about that last week. They entered an agreement last week to acquire WBD after they increased their offer to $31 a share, and Netflix chose not to raise their offer. It marked the end of a bumpy road in the whole acquisition process. While the latter of those two concerns remain to various degrees, the deal is signed and set to move forward. WBD is, of course, the broadcast partner of AEW. AEW's broadcast will remain on the platforms moving forward until their deal is done in 2027. Paramount has noted that the plan is to combine HBO Max with Paramount Plus, though, and details on how that will work are forthcoming. Paramount's Dave Elson has said HBO will remain as a brand. According to Fightful Select, though, AEW had a notion that Paramount would outbid Netflix for WBD in the days before it happened. Additionally, the Wrestling Observer newsletter notes that Tony Khan was thrilled by the news. Khan believes that this is the best possible scenario for him and AEW as opposed to Netflix. Khan's sentiment is not universal in AEW. Others in the company believe it's bad for them because Paramount could get rid of them due to their need to cut back on costs or due to pressure from TKO. TKO has contracts with Paramount to broadcast the UFC on Paramount Plus as well as Zolfa Boxing. To be clear, this is no indication that Paramount will be influenced by TKO to drop AEW, and Dave Meltzer is not reporting that as the case. This is simply the concern from some within AEW. AEW's contract with WBD and thus Paramount to air AEW on TNT and TBS runs through 2027 and an option year in 2028. Now, other AEW news, we got an update on Samoa Joe. He has indicated that his return to AEW is forthcoming, and it's not going to be as long as many had feared. He said that he is expected to be back sooner rather than later. He made the comment while speaking to fans at the Monopoly events gathering, offering one of the first public updates on his recovery. Joe has been away since late January. His last match was on January 21st against Speedball Mike Bailey. Subsequent reports indicated that Joe was placed on concussion protocol. AEW has not yet announced a specific timetable for his comeback, but he said in the Monopoly events, we'll be back at AEW sooner rather than later. While he's absent, Hook has been featured more prominently within the group while Joe recovers, and the shift has allowed AEW programming to keep the group active while its leader remains off television. Hook has been recruiting for the ops, and apparently Anthony Bowens might be joining the group soon, as we've seen on Collision as of late. So we'll see what happens there. Update on Penelope Ford after her injury. She's currently out of action with an ankle injury, and a new report had an update on how long she may be out. A fan question on the Fightful Select Answers Q&A asks if there's an update on how long she will be out of action. As Sean Rossap notes, the initial fear was that Ford had a broken ankle, with the injury just a sprain. She should be out of action a matter of weeks as opposed to much longer. The report notes there was a lot of optimism after Ford was able to do a digital interview with Lena Cross and Megan Bain after the show. Ford appeared alongside the two and sent the message, now you've taken a piece of us, but it will be the last thing that you will ever do. On behalf of all of us at THH, our best wishes to Ford for a quick and full recovery, but good news in regards she'll be back pretty soon. So good news there. ROH TV on Honor Club. They got a new home in Jacksonville, Florida at the I think it's JCT Studios. The show featured
So good for them.
Yeah. They got like going to be studio wrestling now. It seems like weekly. Persephone picked up. Yeah, I want anything that's not them being in front of tired AEW Dynamite and Collision crowds.
Because it's so many hours that they beat it. Like they if you say it's a 6 o'clock show, but it's hard for people to get there for 6 once they get off work, you know. And we do a taping before the show, so you just have to like do a taping somewhere else, get a home just like NXT. And just have people come there weekly. It's not a bad formula.
Yeah. ROH TV on Honor Club. You had Persephone picked up a win over Sarah Leone. You had Athena and Billy Starks attacked Deonna Purrazzo backstage to send a message before Starks challenges Purrazzo for the Women's Pure Championship next week, while Athena will face Maya World in a ROH Women's World Title Proving Ground matchup. Commander scored a victory over Sydney Akeem, while Top Flight beat Grizzled Young Veterans in a solid bout. Big Bill and Brian Keefe are now known as Paid in Full. They got a squash win. Yeah, I was me and Jaquan was doing all the jokes on that. Adam Priest and Tommy Billington defeated the Workhorsemen, while Bang Bang Gang beat MXM Collection. Mina Shirakawa picked up a win over Zeta Steel. AR Fox scored a win over Lee Johnson, Shane Taylor, and Daddy Magic in a 4-corner survival to earn an immediate title shot, which led to him losing to Kazuchika Okada, who made his return to ROH to retain the AEW International Championship against Fox. Then heading over to Japan, we had NJPW's New Japan Cup kicked off this week as we had first round action. We had night one was on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. The show featured Yuya Uemura scoring a victory over Great Okan in a pretty decent matchup that they had there. He also had one of the dumbest decisions by New Japan Pro Wrestling in recent memory, which says a lot. Don Fale beat Aaron Wolf for some reason for both Uemura and Fale to advance in the tournament. I hate New Japan and I hate Gato for this. I just wanted to repeat that. Then you had the New Japan Cup Day 2 event, which had Bolton Oleg beating El Fantasmo in a very good bout on that show. You had Ren Narita picked up a win over Tai Chi because House of Torture has to win on every fucking show as Oleg and Narita advanced in the tournament. Then you had NJPW 54th anniversary with the New Japan Cup continuing. That had Callum Newman defeating Oscar in a very fun brawl, while Jake Lee scored a victory over Yoshihashi for both Callum and Lee to advance in the tournament. Robbie X and Taiji Ishimori defeated the Ishiban Sweet Boys in a tremendous tag team encounter to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Post-match, though, they were attacked by the United Empires, Francisco Akira and Jacob Austin Young, as they attacked the new champions, and Akira Pillmanized Robbie's neck. And then you had Doki. Yes, Doki. Fucking Doki. Picked up a win over Master Wato in the main event to retain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, thanks to outside interference from the House of Torture, because House of Torture has to win on every fucking show. Post-match, Yo came out as the next challenger for the title, wearing an Evil shirt, and laid out both men with "Everything is Yo" before cutting a promo in Evil's voice. House of Torture is poisoning my lovely New Japan. Just wanted to mention that.
Not poison. That's such hard. Ooh, that's some words right there.
It's a disease that they can't get off of them. It's very infuriating. It's an infection. And bad news from New Japan, they announced this week that Tomohiro Ishii suffered a neck injury and he was removed from the New Japan Cup tournament. His last match was, of course, last Friday for New Beginning in USA against Bolton Oleg. So best recoveries from all of us at THH to Ishii. And then finally, we had this week in CMLL, we had Martis Papaleris, which had Neon picking up a win over Volador Jr. in an awesome main event on Tuesday, while Averno and Defunto picked up a win over Flip Gordon and Templario in a very good tag team bout. Then we had Los Noches de la Amazonas on Venice Spectacular, which was an all-women's event, and man, these ladies went all out on this show, including Persephone picking up the biggest win of her career. After I talked to her this week, she defeated Mercedes Moné in a splendid main event to win the CMLL Women's World Championship. Definitely go out of your way to watch this. These two women just have great chemistry with one another. They always show out and deliver, and they delivered a great main event to end the show as Persephone was crowned the new CMLL Women's World Champion. You had Jasha Sita. Huh?
So that's a great picture.
Yeah. Yeah, Jaro Sita and Luvia beat Starlight Kid and May Sarah in a fun bout to retain the CMLL Women's World Tag Team Championships. Mina Shirakawa picked up a win over Zezuses in a very good bout, while Megan Bain scored a victory over Olympia in a straight up banger. These two women were just deadlifting each other. It was amazing. Love this matchup. Go out of your way to watch that one as well. So some really good action from CMLL, and they had 16,000 in attendance. This is one of the most attended all women's events in wrestling history.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Good. Yeah. Wow.
Very good.
Take notes, WWE.
No.
Actually promote your shit and they will come see women's wrestling.
They could have last year. They fumbled.
Decided to do it across from Beyonce.
Minute, yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, but we've come to Miss Krssi Love's favorite time of the show: best, worst moments and match of the week. Do you have time, Miss Krssi Love?
Yeah, we can do it really quickly. Yep.
All right, who is your best and worst from this week?
Well, worst, I'd have to give WWE and AKA Road Dogg. It's only fair. Hell, let's add Drew to there too. Poor thing, he ain't got no belt.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're actually right.
Yeah, let's give it to Drew. Drew, WWE, and Road Dogg.
Who's the best?
Best of the week. I'm going to give it to. Yeah, this is a hard one because who did good this week? Shit.
Well, my best of the week is David Finlay. and worst is Road Dogg.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good shout.
Yeah. Who are you giving it to?
Sure. Finlay for getting the bag over at AEW. Not going with the other ones that try to lowball his ass.
I'm all for people getting the bag. I did want to answer this question here from Dion. He says, I know they have a working relationship, but do y'all think New Japan has any legitimate resentment towards AEW since a lot of their guys go over there? No, not whatsoever, actually, because Sean Ross Sapp checked with New Japan Pro Wrestling as well as Rocky Romero, and Rocky said, and I quote, he was like, no, we want them to go to AEW if they're going to leave because it actually gives them a chance to come back. The other option is them taking a low ball deal from WWE. They want the best for their guys if they're going to leave and explore their opportunities in the US, and they also want the opportunity for them to come back. So the best thing for them, it seems like New Japan is more or less pushing. If you do want to leave, they suggest you go to AEW and they'll always have the door open for you to return. So there's no legitimate resentment at all.
And the thing with AEW is that AEW allows you to go and visit other companies and do these things. Yes, promote our brand, promote our have people come over to our stuff. They're all about self-promotion. And if you're not letting your guys go out there and promoting your brand, then what are we doing?
Yeah. Josh, best and worst of the week?
Worst of the week easily. Road Dogg and Carl Silva. Fuck that guy. Best of the week. I'm gonna give it to David Finlay and Danhausen because he's bounced back from that fan reaction, and he's doing it being himself. So props to him.
Yeah, absolutely right. We didn't do our winner because we've been doing the match of the month, so we didn't do that last week at the end of February. So our winners for the matches of the week for February were: week 1 was Ciampa and Briscoe. Week 2 was Fletcher and Ciampa. Week 3 was Swerve and Omega. And the last week was Mile High Madness. So which match was the best match of the month? I'm going to go with Swerve and Omega.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds about right.
Josh?
Swerve and Omega.
All right. So Swerve and Omega is the February match of the month. So you have a refresher. For January, it was Okada and Tanahashi. So we got Swerve and Omega, Okada and Tanahashi for January. All right. I got 15 this week. I'll run them down very quickly. Don Callis Family and Death Riders from Collision, 15. 14, Jackson Drake and Cappuccino Jones from Evolve. 13, Mox and Hechicero from Dynamite. 12, Neon and Volador from CMLL. 11, Cody and Drew from SmackDown. 10, Punk and Balor from Elimination Chamber. 9, Gunther and Lee and Dragon Lee from Raw. 8, Dragon Lee and Jack Cartwheel from AAA. 7, Andrade and Ishii from Collision. 6, Bane and Olympia from CMLL. 5, MJF and Kevin Knight from Dynamite. 4, Don Callis Family versus Jet Set Rodeo from Dynamite. 3, Angel Deora and Johnny Consuela from last week's CMLL. That was great, hair versus hair. Number 2, Robbie X and Taiji Ishimori versus Ichiban Sweet Boys from New Japan's anniversary show. But number 1, keeping with the woman's theme, Persephone and Mercedes from last night's CMLL. Josh.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with number 3. Trying to think. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Gunther versus Dragon Lee. That was a really good match. Despite everybody being upset about the mask spot, it didn't bother me. Oh well. Number 2, I'm gonna go with MJF versus Kevin Knight. The opening from Dynamite. And number 1, Mercedes versus Persephone. That was a match I actually got to see. It was always low, even it was $10 on Triller TV. So
yeah,
$10, really?
Yeah, $10. $10, and it was a great event. So shout out to the ladies. Mercedes took some time off. She hasn't lost a step. It was a really great main event.
Krssi Love.
I'm my number 5, Drew Cody. Number 4 is Andrade versus Ishii. 3 is going to be Don Callis Family versus Jet Rodeo. Is that what did they call it?
Jet Set Rodeo.
Yeah. What did they? Jet Set Rodeo. There we go. Jet Set Rodeo. That was what? That was 3. Oh, was that 2? That was 3.
Yeah.
2 is Gunther and Dragon Lee, and then my number 1 is Kevin Knight versus MJF.
I think you said that twice, but I'll hold you to it. I think you did. But
okay, wait. Okay. No, okay. So let me go back over then. I did Don Callis Family, Jet Set Rodeo, right? I did Drew Cody, Andrade ECE, Gunther, Dragon Lee, Kevin Knight, MJF.
Oh, I was wrong.
I had 5.
Right. You're my bad. That's my bad. Krssi Love, we're gonna.
I ain't that messed up there. Listen.
We're gonna send you off before we do our final predictions. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they will see you again.
You can follow me, Krssi Love _1, Tru Heel, Krssi Love, and just my plain name. I will be back next week, guys. So thank you. I'll see you soon.
See you then, Miss Krssi Love. Always enjoy you, and thank you for the birthday love for the twins. Appreciate you.
Later, guys.
Later. All right, Josh. We got final predictions for the big shows tonight and tomorrow night. Vengeance Day and Eve's Wrestle Queendom. Tonight, we got Vengeance Day on Peacock and Netflix worldwide. We got Izzy Dame defending the NXT Women's North American Championship against Tatum Paxley. Who you got?
The girl that looks like Wednesday Addams.
We got Tony D'Angelo. I got Izzy Dame. We got Tony D'Angelo versus Dion Lennox. Who you got?
I got D'Angelo.
I got Tony D as well. We got Jada Parker versus Blake Monroe street fight.
I think it's Jada Parker.
I got Blake Monroe. We got NXT Underground, Lola Vice versus Kalani Jordan. Who you got?
I'm going with Kalani.
I'm going to go with Lola here. And then finally, we got for the NXT Championship, Joe Hendry versus Ricky Saints.
Joe Hendry retains.
There we go. I'm going with Joe Hendry as well. Then we got Eve, Wrestle Queendom, in Wrestle Kingdom 8, excuse me. I put the wrong Roman numeral. My bad for that. Let me add an I here. But yes, Wrestle Queendom 8. This is Will Ospreay is actually the executive producer for this promotion, but they got a stacked card, all woman show. So they're celebrating Women's Day, Women's Weekend as well, and a stacked card that they got. A couple of dream matches, couple of big title matches. The main event's going to be Rio defending the Eve Championship against Session Martina. But we got some big matches featuring talent from AEW. You got Amira Blair, who is the girlfriend of Michael Oku and his manager, going one-on-one with Harley Cameron. Who you got, Josh?
I got Harley winning.
I'm going to go with Harley as well. Then we got Sapphire Reed versus Azumi. Who you got?
I got Azumi.
I got Azumi as well. We got 3 big title matches that coming up, but you also got for the Eve Tag Team Champions, Lay Lee versus Charlie Evans and a mystery partner. You got the Sudden Death 16, which is going to be Dashi Shikari, Amel, Miyu Yamashita. You also got Jamie Hayter, Alexis Facone, and 11 to be announced, and the winner gets a title shot in the future. Then you got the big three title matches. Shuri defending the Strong Japan Women's Championship. Who you got?
Champion. She retains.
Shuri versus Alex Windsor. I'll go with Shuri. I'll go with Shuri to retain here. Then we got for the AEW TBS Championship, Willow Nightingale defending against Nina Samuels.
Willow.
I'm going to go with Willow as well. And then this one is a dream match. Dakota Kai makes her return to professional wrestling, now known as Charlie. She goes one-on-one with Chris Statlander for the Eve International Championship. Who you got, Josh?
Damn. I kind of want to say Dakota, but I think Chris. I think Chris is winning.
I'm going to go with Charlie. I'm going to go with Charlie to win the Eve International Championship. Got to guarantee that she's going to be back in the promotion. So I'm going to go with her.
I'll give you that. You see, you're thinking like an independent promoter. I like it.
Yeah. I'm going to learn from Will. I might be able to meet Will for the first time tomorrow. So let's see. I'll be there live. Right. I'll be there live at the Eve Wrestle Queendom event. We'll have some pictures on the Tru Heel Heat social media, so be on the lookout for that. You'll see what goes down at the event firsthand. So gonna be a lot of fun for that show. Can't wait to be there, but love the fact you guys were all with us today for the latest edition of the flagship podcast, Tru Heel Heat 371. Who let the dogs out? Thank you so much to all of you for joining us live. Thank you if you're watching us on demand. And Josh, thank you as always for joining me. The floor is yours. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media when they'll see you again.
You can follow me, JamPunk321 on X and Instagram. And you can see me next weekend for the next THH podcast episode. But then also, I wanted to give a very special shout out to Wendy. She made me this shirt, and I decided to wear it today.
Hey. That's love right there. That's love.
That's an early birthday gift because my birthday's on the 21st. So she got this as an early gift.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We got to celebrate your birthday next week because you won't be there the week after, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we got back-to-back weeks of birthday celebrations. We celebrated the twins today, SP4 in Harlem, and next week we're going to celebrate for Josh. We're going to give him an early birthday party for 372. So be here live next week, 10:05 a.m. Eastern time. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SB3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we're not live here. I will be back live on Monday to review WWE NXT Vengeance Day. So be on the lookout for that. And if you want to hear my immediate thoughts on Vengeance Day, join us over on the Fightful main channel. I'll be filling in for Kate of Fightful with Alex Pulowski on the Sour Graps review following the show tonight. So join us live over there. For Miss Krssi Love, for the True Jaw Josh, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 371. Who let the dogs out? We are signing off until next time. Later, y'all.